Angie's.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Yes, sir. Good morning. Ready to rock and roll on a beautiful Friday, a blessed Friday. We are here. We are ready to rock, just a little earlier than normal today. We got Ira Winderman joining us at 10:05, so I figured we'd warm up the engines just a little bit earlier, because normally we would do it sometime around 10:30. So we're going to do it a little earlier, so I figured we'd start a little earlier on a beautiful Friday. We got a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, this entire Dolphin and whole Tua mess with Deshaun Watson continues, and we'll address that. We'll have Omar Kelly around 12:15 joining us to talk a little bit about that, and I've got plenty to say before Omar joins us. We'll get into it also. Last night, the Heat was just awesome, man. 137-95. That was a lot of fun to watch. The Tyler Hero we saw in the preseason translated to the first game, which was really good. And the Panthers, man, first time in their history that they're 4-0 as they pound the Avalanche last night, 4-1. And that was awesome to win 4-1 and to be 4-0 on the season. Bob played well again yesterday, 30 saves. Man, there's a lot of good things to talk about. Obviously, we've got the Dolphins this weekend, and we will be at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. Sean and I will be out there. starting off at 11 a.m. You can show up and have a little brunch if you want. So if you have you want to have a little breakfast or a little lunch, whatever you want to do, you can do it while you get ready for the game. So come on out and join us at Miami Lakes at Sports Grill. We had a really good time. I mean, we've had a good time every week, but last week it was kind of special because of that extra morning game, and we had such a great vibe and all that. So it was a success. So they want to continue the whole breakfast thing, and so now you'll get your brunch now on Sundays there at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. So please come on out and join us and eat whatever you want, baby. We've got a little Inter Miami action also on Saturday. We've got the University of Miami taking on NC State. It is a loaded South Florida sports weekend, so we've got a lot of things to talk about over the next couple of hours. We've got the great guests, as always. Ira will join us at 10:05. Manny Navarro should stop by around 11:30. And Omar Kelly right around 12:15. He'll join us. So we got a loaded show. Chris Adams says, love the old school hat. Thank you. Old school hat with a new school kind of twist because it's got this stuff and it's got, what is it? No, it's over here. It's got that stuff there. So it's it's a little bit of a different type of look there, but it's got what's it called? It does have, of course, the base, which is the best ever, but it is what it is. So got a lot of things to talk about today on the program. Last night, man, that was a lot of fun. Heat got it done 137-95. They came out and they played the way we expected them to play. A team that can actually get stops, a team that can be a real pain in the ass on defense, get physical with you, not going to give you anything. I loved, obviously watching Lowry twist his ankle up was not a good thing, but the tough sumbitch came back, which was just absolutely awesome. And, you routed him on a night where Duncan Robinson didn't have a great night. But you look at everybody else, Tyler Hero, and, like 24 minutes or something, 27 points, 10 of 18 shooting, 4 of 8 from three-point range, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. And the Strus was loose last night. How about Strus with the block to end that quarter? And then and Tyler then gets the ball and nails that 3 to end that quarter. That was that bang defensive offensive play in a nutshell. That's kind of what you're hoping you are. You know what I mean? And the best part about having Bam, Butler, PJ, Markieff, having guys that and Lowry, having guys that care about defense and that they're passionate about playing on that side of the court. It's something that will then trickle down to the younger players. And hopefully, as time goes on, Tyler becomes a better defender, maybe a better team defender. Like, Dwayne Wade was never a great one-on-one defender. What Dwayne Wade was probably one of the greatest team defenders ever, and especially a guard, obviously. But that's one of those things that he was so good coming from the back door. And so, that's why I'm telling you, it's just kind of interesting that you start to look at defensively. This is what you hope that Duncan can pick up from, Tyler can pick up from, and then you look at Strus yesterday, and that was awesome, man. That was cool because Strus for the offense, but if he's gonna, and he's got some size, so Strus is not a kid that should be, that you should take advantage of him. He's got enough of a body that he should be able to play some defense. And that was terrific last night to get that block. That's the kind of message you send to a team that we are going to hustle from one end of the court to the other end of the court. And last night, the best part about last night was I got a feeling that I haven't had in the last couple of years from this team. even when they made their bubble run and all that stuff, this hasn't been a really good defensive club. Okay, I don't care what kind of stats you try to spin at me or whatever. This has not been a club that has been heat-like defense in the last couple of years. And so to watch what I saw last night, it brought back that, okay, now this is what they are all about. Yeah, offense, obviously, you got plenty of offense right now, which is great. You scored, 137 points last night. That's a lot of points. But the fact that you held them to 95 and the disparity was that big, that's what I like to see. And to me, that was the important part about all of this. And remember, this is a game where you didn't really keep everybody in there. So if you could have even lowered that score of theirs even more if you kept your best players in there and kept trying to shut them down. You know what I'm saying? So yesterday, for the first time in the last couple of years, I finally felt like they're playing up to their identity as a franchise. You know how we sit here and we wonder, what is the Dolphins' identity? Well, we've always known what the identity of the Miami Heat is. Always. And that's defense, that's effort, that's conditioning, that's discipline, all of the things that's kind of made them what they are. That's always been the heart and soul of what they are. And that's kind of been lost the last couple of years. Yeah, you have a couple guys that can play some defense, and you have a couple guys that once in a while can make some defensive plays, but you weren't back to being a team that on every possession, you are a pain in the ass to score on them. And that's what I saw last night. And that to me is what made me feel like really good about why I feel so good about this team, and the fact that I know they're old and I worry about, some of the age of the team, but they're still young enough, at least for this year, that they can make a nice deep run into the playoffs. And if everything goes well, they can end up in the NBA Finals. When you can play this kind of defense, this is what's going to change the dynamics of everything. All right, remember, there's many ways to contribute on the program. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program. You can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Also on the YouTube channel right here if you're watching. But obviously the text line for those of you that are downloading the show on the podcast, we'll read your text in a little while on the show. And of course, you can always make a donation on the show and help us grow. Appreciate all of you out there as always. And that is at Cash App and Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. And Reginald Stamball, by the way, thank you, sir, for chiming in on Venmo. Appreciate you. Let's see. What else do we have here on here? Thank you, Nizzle, coming in on the super chat. A little super chat. He says, way to open the season, Miami Heat. A statement win against the champs. 42-point blowout. The rest of the NBA is on notice. Pat Riley's the best. Pat Riley is absolutely amazing. He really is amazing. And, they didn't have a shot at a young guy, but they went out and still gave you a product by going out and getting some veterans and some people that are established that can get this thing turned around quickly and get to the point where you need to be. And at the same time, like I said, this is a nice education for the young players. Gives them an opportunity to learn how to play defense and get better and get more complete, because we love Duncan's game, we love Tyler's game, but we all know that they need to improve a little bit on the other side of the court. And I think having this presence is going to help. And over the next couple of years, these older guys will teach the younger guys a little bit more about basketball, not just offense, but obviously a lot on defense. So in a couple of years, those younger guys become the seasoned veterans that then you can go out and get the complementary pieces for them. And one of the things that I talked about with Ira a couple of times throughout the offseason, and I mentioned it, and last night it was part of it, I said, hey, man, you really need the young guys to be that offensive juice for the team, where the older guys, the Butlers and the Lowrys and the PJs, can complement on offense, but be pillars of stability on defense. And last night, if you look at it, that's kind of what you got. And I think that's really, really important. Although Butler did do his share of scoring with 21 points, but Bam with 20 and Tyler with 27, that's 47 points between two of your young stars. And I think that's really, really important. I know Duncan didn't put up a ton of points, but I think it's really important overall to get that kind of production from your young guys night in and night out, and don't put the burden on Butler and on Lowry that they've got to be in the 20-point range every single night and carry you offensively and defensively. That you don't want to put that kind of a burden on those guys right now, to be honest with you. I think that would be the right way of going after all of this. But that was fun, man. You know, I don't know about a statement, but I think it's a message. Okay. Because, you know, it's the beginning. We're in the middle of October. It's hard to send statements in October because games don't matter nearly as much in October as they do later on in the season. So I think it's I think it's one of those things where, you know, you got to what's it called? Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. So I just think it's one of those things that you know, you gotta enjoy right now, because this is the way it's structured is the way it needs to work. If you get these young guys producing and the veteran players complementing on offense and leading on defense, I think it creates the perfect balance for this team. That was fun, man. That was a lot of fun. I got to say, look, I liked the Heat last night. I thought the Heat was going to win. I took the points and everything. I thought it was one of those deals where it would easily get done. You know what I mean? I felt really good about the Heat winning last night, but I didn't think it would be a blowout. I thought the Milwaukee Bucks would come in, and I know Drew Holiday wasn't in. I know Bobby Portis wasn't in. I get that. But I thought that they would come in like they did the opening night, and they played their asses off. I thought they still would be right there with them. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that Miami just did not make it a game and just blew them out, that to me was incredibly impressive. You know, that I was impressed with. So, all right, let's do this. Let's take a really quick break. When we come back, Ira Winderman is going to join us with our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. That will be next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
The views foregoing statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. You've been listening to the Acura Heat fans. Time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All righty, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Ira Winderman. Ira, last night I had a little action on the Miami Heat. I took the points. I felt confident about the Miami Heat. But holy crap, I didn't expect a 40-point blowout, my brother. I mean, that was beautiful last night.
Or should you have expected it after what the Bucks did in their first visit last year when they were beaten 4-1 by the Heat in the 2020 Eastern Conference semifinals? So maybe we know that revenge is real in the NBA. Maybe we've learned that you can have that chip on your shoulder. And That's one thing, you know this, Big O. This team is sort of built to a fervor pitch when it goes out there. This goes back to P.J. Brown flipping Charlie Ward during the height of Heat Knicks. I mean, when they get these guys like a bunch of cage dogs, they call it the kennel this season, you can see that. It's going to be so much fun, because I think in the biggest games this season, you're going to see the biggest moments from the Heat. Now, you might be talking to me next week on the Acura Pembroke Pines report on Tuesday and going, Ira, what the hell happened against the Magic? Because we know also they can play down to their opponents. Yeah. But I think their national TV games, I think the games that they have circled, I think are going to be special this year because this is a hungry team. This is a team that was, and I use this word, sort of cautiously, but still, that was humiliated at the end of last season. So I think they got a lot of points to make. I think it started last night. I think you will see in their other big upcoming games, maybe when they go out to LA and play the Lakers on national TV, they want to sort of check a bunch of boxes and say, hey, last year was the year coming out of the bubble. No off season, COVID, Jimmy missing 20 games. We're the Heat and we're back. That was a hell of a way to start.
Yeah, no, but remember, Milwaukee embarrassed the Nets 2 nights before because I watched that game. And so to me, I expected the Bucks to give you, and I know Drew Holiday and
that's big,
and Portis was out and all
that's big.
But I expected them to give them a game. And what made me really happy yesterday, Ira, is that the defensive disposition is back.
Yeah,
and this team did not really have it.
And you know where it starts.
What the stats tell you the last couple of years.
And you know where it starts. Give me the name where it started. It was kind of obvious to me.
PJ.
Yeah, I mean, PJ, it's funny because it seems like anyone named PJ for the Miami Heat is going to be a defensive dog. And it's really, like I was thinking about this yesterday because, I like to write a bunch of silly stories also is depending on what PJ Tucker does, you and I at the end of the year might be having this debate on greatest PJ in Heat history. Certainly PJ Brown on those big series with the Knicks, did a lot of damage, but, they never made it to the NBA Finals. If that becomes different, you can see it. Yeah, again, PJ Brown only scored 8 points and had the best plus minus on the team yesterday because of the way he defends, his catalyst for energy. Oh, look, I'm not going to sit here because people archive the Big O show. I know a lot of your listeners, all they'll do is go back over old shows all weekend. So I was the one who came out and said, I'm not sure PJ Tucker is the ultimate answer for this team because of his lack of offense. And then PJ put it in my face last night. And then you could see whether it was Giannis Antetokounmpo, Mike Budenholzer, or Eric Spoelstra talking about it after the game, how he was a catalyst there. He's a special, unique player. You do not want him on your fantasy team, but you want him on your basketball team.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And one of the things that not only did having the defensive disposition is back, which is the heart and soul of this franchise and what Riley has established. But the other thing that I like, and it's something that I've been talking to you about for the last couple of months, that this team needs to be powered offensively by its young guys, defensively by its veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get to the playoffs, then the veterans can take over a little bit more offensively. But yesterday, having Bam and Tyler take it to another level the way they did, those two guys. And Duncan didn't have that kind of game that you normally would want, but still, You know, when what was it, Duncan 9 points, 8 points yesterday? That still puts you, at what is it, 50 something? What is it? 50, what is it, 65 points or something between the three guys.
And that's the thing. And that's the
So
thing, though. I think
I
it was almost
think
it was
that's
almost
important.
good that Duncan didn't have a great game because you can
Right,
add that. And
right.
so look, we all want to say the 9 players in the rotation, you want them to all play well, but we know the reality. It's just like we listen for hours on end to the Big O show, but there's a clunker in there every now and then.
That's right.
There might be an off hour. So you know what? If you can get a majority of the young players to play well, so maybe in Indiana on Saturday, it's Duncan Robinson with 8 3-pointers. It's not Tyler Hero as much. But you're right. This is a long grind. PJ Tucker, 36. Kyle Lowry, 35. Jimmy Butler, 32. Markieff Morris, 31, 32. You need to get those youthful legs during this part of the season, during the dog days at the middle of the season, and then let the other guys take over. I spoke to Bobby Marks this week from ESPN. He was the lone ESPN expert to have the Heat in the NBA Finals and winning an NBA championship. And I spoke to him and I said, what I've said to you on the show from the Accurate Pembroke Pines report for weeks is this is a team built for the playoffs. How do you get through the regular season? And Bobby Marks is really interesting. He told me, I don't know if I agree with this. You'll see it in Sunday's Sun Sentinel. He thinks that he'd have the best starting 5 in the Eastern Conference. Certainly Brooklyn, Milwaukee might disagree. He thinks that he'd have.
I think because he's saying offense and defense.
Right, two-way.
He's measuring as complete players.
He's looking at both ways. And he also said, let's be honest, your playoff rotation is 8 players. So from what the Heat have, you can cobble together those 8. Dwayne Dedmon was very good last night and good in the minutes when the game still mattered. This wasn't Omar Yurtseven coming in a garbage time and padding his stats. This was a guy with the meaningful, tough guy moments, which when Brook Lopez is there will be more meaningful. So when I spoke to Bobby, he basically said, you get through the regular season with this team. He told me, no, I don't expect the Heat to be the number 1, maybe even the number 2 seed. But I feel comfortable about them in the playoff setting. And again, this is what I said at the beginning here on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report, is that I think the Heat at the big moments will step up. Kyle Lowry's not going to let himself be embarrassed on national TV. Jimmy Butler, after last season's playoffs against the Bucks, is not going to allow himself to be embarrassed. And Bam Adebayo just knows one thing, and that's to play hard and go hard. So he'll always be there for you. So yes, just one game. No Drew Holiday, no Bobby Portis, no Brook Lopez. Plenty missing. No Rodney Hood. But screw that. There'll be plenty of games where the Heat doesn't have someone, and other teams will go, hey, it was a big victory. You take it, you move on, and after the way last season started with that poor start, after the way it finished being blown out of 4 games by the Bucks, a very important moment, just like it's been for the Florida Panthers to get off to that good start, because you can talk the talk all you want, Big O, in the preseason and offseason of how good you're going to be. Show it to me. Make an opening statement. That's what they did. What the Heat have to do next is, against the shorthanded Pacers, with no TJ Warren, no Karis LeVert, they have to win Saturday in Indy. Then they have to come home Monday and kick the butt of the god-awful Orlando Magic. Then when I talk to you next Tuesday on this report, we can talk about, just like the Panthers, you're setting the tone in your first week.
Yeah, I think and obviously Jimmy looks around and he goes, now I see some sons of bitches like me.
Some dogs,
the
in the kennel.
Dogs,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? And I think the kind of games like Orlando that would take this team would kind of, let it slip by with these kind of dudes on this team. Those kind of games aren't going to slip by nearly as much anymore.
I hope not. There is a natural letdown, but I hope you're right, Big O, because you cannot lose to the Magic, the Pistons, and the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference this year because everyone else is good. Everyone.
No, at the end of the year, those are the games you're looking at.
Yes, because Washington is better. They're deeper now with Montrezl Harrell. You look at Chicago, and they're deeper now with Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso and what they picked up. The Knicks are still going to be a tough out as long as they have Tom Thibodeau. The Hornets, we see what they can be now with LaMelo and Gordon Hayward coming back and Rozier. Don't let the easy ones slip away. They'll be tough ones. Charlotte comes in next week. The Heat go to Brooklyn. So it'll be different. There will be tough ones along the way as well.
Now, any truth that you will be going to the next game at the FTX Arena in a LaMelo Ball type suit and Lamborghini?
But I don't know if I could ever...
I heard your neon is more I think it's green instead or yellow. I don't know which one
I
you
mean,
want to
it's
go
funny.
with.
Remember the old Heat games when Banana Man used to show up? It almost
Yeah.
looked like Banana Man in that classic yellow. You know, and to people who haven't seen the picture, remember those yellow raincoats we all used to wear to school as kids with the yellow hood? That's basically what Ball showed up to Charlotte season opener. But you know what? If you can back it up, I have no
Well, he
issue with
did.
that.
They were
Look at
down by
PJ.
23, dude, and he
Yeah, I
came
mean,
back.
look at how PJ Tucker dresses. But you know what? You can talk the talk and walk the walk if you can play the play, and both of those guys have done it. So you can wear whatever the hell you want, including Jimmy with his headband and cut off. I mean, Jimmy Butler showed up in his post-game press conference yesterday basically in jorts. Well, you know what? You get to wear jorts after you have a big game and only play half the game. So you know what? Fashion statements for someone else. I'll keep it simple, but I certainly can appreciate the moment.
I'm with you there. All right, Ira, you know what was really nice also? That the Tyler Hero we saw in the preseason translated to game one. He
Yes.
looked like the same Tyler that we saw, the dude that looks focused, the dude that his jumper's looking super sweet. I mean, that bang bang play to end the first quarter with the Struces loose getting the block and then Tyler getting the three. I mean, that alone right there, that was like the highlight of the night right there, you know, and that was beautiful Heat right there. A defensive play and then
Yep.
the explosive offensive play. But it was really nice to see
You know,
Tyler
I'll
play that
relate
way.
this to something close to home to you. It's a lot easier to just do what you do best and not worry about the ancillary stuff. Not worry about having to build an entire station, keep a certain franchise in town happy, get everything set up, take care of protocols. So basically, just like you sit here, you do your show for hours every day, and that's it. Tyler's being told do one thing, like you, do the thing you do best. Get buckets. Worry about nothing else. Kyle will handle the playmaking. We'll take care of everything else. You just get buckets. And that's what we're seeing. And oh, you know this. I've spoken to you since we started here at the station, that if you can get Tyler Hero to be like a Jamal Crawford, like a Lou Williams going back in our day, like a Vinnie Johnson, be a microwave, that's what you need. Because for as much as the Heat can talk about defense and that dog mentality, the NBA is a league of scoring. Teams lose games scoring 110, 115 points these days. Your offense has to come somewhere. Pat Riley can talk all he wants about his Alonzo Mourning days. 89, 82 ain't happening anymore. And if it does, it's a score at the end of the third quarter.
One of the beautiful things also last night for the coach was he didn't have to play guys a lot of minutes. He was able to use 86 people off his bench. I
Yeah,
thought that
yeah.
was
We saw Marcus
absolutely
Garrett's
fantastic.
NBA debut. We saw everyone but Udonis. I like how Spo said, as long as they're chanting his name, that's enough. He doesn't have to get out there. He's not going to put UD in a garbage minutes. He's not going to put UD in when he's not warmed up. There will be UD moments this season where Eric Spoelstra might have to say, hey, we're shorthanded. PJ's not playing tonight. UD, fire yourself up. Be ready. You might be on call. Everyone else got in, and that's what it should be. And again, they had a 9-man rotation. So let's move past the starters who all played well. Dwayne Dedmon played well. Tyler Hero played well.
Yeah.
You just mentioned Max Strus played well. And you know what? Markieff Morris, as I wrote at the Sun Sentinel, as he still gets in Heat shape, he played well also. So if you can get that from those 9, we don't have to worry about the 10th man. We don't have to worry if Gabe Vincent can be a backup point guard. We don't have to worry if Kaziak Pollock can be an NBA player. And here's the beauty of the possibilities. Imagine last night's game and last night's rotation with Victor Oladipo. There is such a carrot out there for the Heat. There is such a carrot coming up for the Heat that any other team, if they want to get better, they're going to have to make a trade. They're going to have to find a player on the buyout deadline. They're going to have to shake up their roster. For the Heat, it just might be a matter of time. Maybe December, maybe January, maybe February, but still it's there. And like you mentioned, you saw him on the bench. You see him every day. How tantalizing is what we saw yesterday with the Heat, plus anything close to Victor Oladipo? That's really fascinating.
The only thing, and I don't mean to be cynical on all of this, but it's hard for me to completely get excited about Depot because of his history.
Yes, all the setbacks, and I agree with that. But you know
That's
what?
that's the only problem.
Here's the difference, though. You're not looking for him to come in and be a starter. You're not
No,
looking for him to come in and play 40 minutes, where Houston had to have that, where Indy, the way they were built at times, had to have that. You're
or
saying,
the last setup of the Heat. You really
yes, yeah,
needed
where there was no one
star.
else and Tyler was struggling and he had to be the
Right,
guy, and there was no Kyle Lowry and Goran was getting older. Man,
right.
15 minutes of Depot-like Depoting, and it takes you to another level. You know what? The Victor Oladipo with 75% Victor Oladipo come the playoffs. I'm putting the Heat up there with the Bucks. I'm putting the Heat up there with the Nets. Not yet, but I would if that happens. That could be a difference maker. How nice is it to have someone like that in the wings? That's happening. That we're not talking about the trading deadline. Will the Heat make this deal? Who are they going to get? Who they're going to get might just be right in front of them, with the beauty of being on a minimum scale contract.
I was thinking about this last night, and I don't mean to get ahead of myself because it's only game one,
Sure.
but I do expect this team to have a really good season as it is. And I do expect this team to be really sexy in the second half of the
Sure.
season. This always happens, Ira. Buyouts, teams that are going to have players that are going to, pretty good players that,
I think I
really
know where
bad
you're going.
situation.
Throw me
Yeah.
the name.
No, I'm not going to throw any names, but I'm just saying I think the Heat is also going to have not just Depot, but an
Right.
opportunity
Yes.
at adding another veteran that is going to leave a terrible situation, and that team is going to buy him out to do him the favor and get him out and give him an opportunity.
And look. Oh, and
I'll
the name.
let you do the rest.
And the name got mentioned when David Aldridge of The Athletic put out the name. He's covered Washington sports for years, of John Wall. And obviously, John Wall has an untradeable contract. Now, Houston's not just going to let him walk out the door before the trading deadline, because who knows? Something might come up. They probably won't let him walk out the door before the buyout deadline, because who knows? They might be able to use that money in some sort of facilitating. But come March 1st, there's no reason for John Wall, who will be at the end of his contract, who will be the shape right there going into oblivion, basically, not to work out a buyout, not to get to a playoff team. He works out in off seasons in South Florida, like every NBA player. He has a place down here. It makes sense. So then you could say to yourself, well, either Victor Oladipo or John Wall. But you're right. This has always been a place that has gotten players, Dwayne Dedmon last season, who say, you know what? I want to make a run with this team. Historically, there's always been a guy at the end of the season who wants to be part of this. Winning draws players in. So if the Heat have that kind of record, and they are a team that's, on sort of the upswing right there, yeah, I think there'll be at least one buyout player. They have a little money under the tax right now. They can create more in a trade, moving KZ Okpala if they have to. Believe me, Pat Riley is never done building. And when he knows he has a contender, who knows, they might even go into the tax.
All right, wrapping it up. Indiana tomorrow night.
Yes.
Key in that game.
Well, they got Indy on the second night
Oh.
for Indy of a back-to-back. That should help. Again, you're getting Indy now when they're a little bit shorthanded. Yes, they have Miles Turner, but Bam has always thought he was better than him. Wasn't happy that Miles Turner was selected over him for the World Cup a couple of years ago. So he has that going on. Domantas Sabonis, can the Heat find PJ Tucker to sort of lock him up? But again, you got to make statements. This is an advantage game for you when it comes to being rested. Heat are off today, flying up to Indiana, and then that Orlando game. And I almost find that to be a bigger game than anything. It's a home game. It's against a crappy team. There can't be a letdown there. We need to be talking next Tuesday back on the Acura of Pembroke Pines report about a 3-0 Miami Heat. Anything short of that, I think, would be, as odd as it sounds, disappointing.
Enjoy the St. Elmo's steak, my brother.
Hey, I got long sleeves, 42 degrees. It's happening. It's real, Big O.
Yeah, but I don't feel sorry for you. I love that place. I love going to downtown Indy. It's a great little downtown.
Although, as you know from St. Elmo's, if I eat too much of the horseradish sauce for the shrimp cocktail, I might not have a voice next week. So we will see. So maybe I'll bring home a bottle for you.
Have you ever fooled somebody with the stuff? Because I've done it like several years.
Every time someone has it.
Unfortunately, we got Sean now on with us, and he's listening, so I can't sucker his ass when I take him to the combine next year.
Cocktail sauce. I've had the Heinz cocktail sauce. It's fine. Oh, my God. My tongue will be burning for a month. Yeah, absolutely.
And your eyes are crying and everything.
Crazy
stuff. It is so awesome.
Catch you again on Tuesday, O.
That's right. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. Safe travels, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, O.
You got it. There you go. The great Ira Winderman and our Acura Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right. Thanks to Ira. Appreciate it. Miami Mike says, LOL, Big O, your hat looks like it belongs to a Chinaman. LOL, just playing, brother. Love the show, man. Thank you. I think you're saying that because the lid is really straight. And because the lid has this, writing and stuff, I don't feel like bending it. Because I normally will, bend my hats. You know what I mean? Well, I know. See, I don't bend this one either because of this. See? What else? My Ethereum hat, see? Bent. Hialeah Park, bent. You're going like, what the fuck? What do you got? 8,000 hats next to him? Yeah. Anyway. All right, so we're back. We take you, of course, till about 1 o'clock. That's when I think Sean and I will call it a day. Remember, Sunday we're back at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. Brunch is on. It was an enormous success last week, and it is back permanently. So I told you we were going to add it over at the Doral location when it opens late this year, early next year, because that's when the new Sports Grill in the Doral City Center will be opening up. It'll be late, probably in December or January is what we're aiming for if everything goes well. And that's where we'll be next year, actually. Next year, we'll be doing our pre- and post-game show permanently from the Doral location, and there will be a brunch there always on Sundays. But now they're adding it because last week was so successful, and they loved it, and they want to get in a groove and doing it. So if you want to join us this Sunday, you can come on out, man, have some delicious French toast, or you can have chicken and waddles, not chicken and waffles. It's chicken and waddles, or you can have some pancakes, and you can have, oh, we got Flo. Let's go with Flo. Talk it, Flo. Cam Flo.
What exactly his role was. We know now that George Godsey is giving the plays to the quarterback. You previously said that Charlie gets a call and gives it to the quarterback in the initial system. My question is, please just clarify for us, was Charlie Fry the primary final say play caller in the first 4 games?
So, and I understand the question. I mean, our focus is on Atlanta right now. We've kind of talked at length about, the situation. It's always been a collaborative effort. It was that earlier in the year. It's that now. We talked about the process earlier in the year that changed to what the process is now. And we'll kind of leave it at that and just kind of, move forward. Our focus is on Atlanta, today's practice, in preparation for that, and really just, looking forward. I think it's always been a collaborative effort. It always will be a collaborative effort. And, we'll leave it at that.
Ryan, I know you're saying that your focus is on Atlanta, but just other elephant in the room. There are reports out of Houston that trade talks between you guys and the Texans for John Watson have started again or have continued this week. Is there any truth to that, or is there anything you can comment about that?
I don't really get into rumors. Tua's our quarterback. We're happy with our quarterback situation. And, I'll leave it at that, which, we've said, and I've said multiple times.
With this situation, a head coach's job and responsibility is to minimize distractions. Obviously, this thing has lingered for quite a while. Considering the team is on a 5-game losing streak, aren't you concerned about the distraction that this could potentially cause, not just for this Sunday, but for next Sunday before the trade deadline?
I really don't see it as a distraction. I think, our players are kind of blocking out all the stuff that's going on outside of our building. That's what I've seen here in the building and meetings and practice. And yeah, I mean, I think, our focus is on Atlanta. And that's really where our focus should be.
Specific to Tua, what are you doing? What are your coaches doing? What is the staff doing to try to ensure that the reports about continued trade discussions do not negatively impact his psyche?
I think his preparation, the way he practices, and the way he performs has been good. I mean, I thought he played very well last week. I thought, he was out for a few games, and he came back and played, I thought, very well last week. So I think his psyche's in a good place. He's a confident kid. He's a tough kid. And really, he's played in 2 games this year. So he should have a lot of confidence in the way he's played. We have a lot of confidence in him because of the way he's played. And we just, our focus is on, Atlanta and trying to, for him to play, to play well again and our team to play well again.
I'm sorry. Speaking broadly, do you talk to guys often about what to do with noise? I mean, when you're winning, Nick Saban calls it rat poison. When you're losing, everybody on social media has got an opinion on everything, and you can't fully insulate players from that, obviously. Do you issue periodic reminders? Read this stuff, don't read this stuff, don't believe this stuff, focus on what's within these walls, or is it just assumed by now that that's what a player's supposed to do?
I think it's assumed. I think it's not just our team. It's the world, really. I think there's always someone writing about something, positive, negative, opinions, positive opinions, negative opinions. I think our players understand that. That's part of being a professional athlete, a coach in the, college or these professional leagues, whatever sport, basketball, hockey, baseball. That kind of comes with the territory. I think we all understand that. But our focus is on, the task right in front of you. So today's practice, today's walkthrough, today's preparation, in preparation for this weekend's game. So that's where, our guys are. I think they've done a good job of that. It's a resilient group. I know I pretty much I say that every day, and I really believe that. And I think their minds are in the right place.
How much of a sense do you feel you have about where Tua's career is headed after his resume to this point, which is 12 pro starts?
I think he's developing. I think this kid is smart. I think he's tough. I think he's talented. I think he's accurate. I think he's definitely has an opportunity to be a very good player. But there's a lot that goes into that, a lot of work from him, a lot of work from us. It doesn't just happen overnight. He knows that. We know that. There's always bumps in the road for anyone in any, career or any profession. I'm sure you've had your own bumps in the road, Joe. And you got to work through those, work through that adversity, and you become better for it. He's already dealt with adversity with the hip. He's overcome it. And yeah, I think he definitely has a chance to be a very good NFL player.
Ryan, are the 5 guys who missed the game Sunday because of injuries on track to at least have a chance to play this Sunday?
They've got a chance. Yeah, they've got a chance. Byron X, Shaheen, Preston, Devontae, all five have a chance. We'll see how today's practice is gonna, give us a lot on those guys. But they're all doing everything they can do to get back as quickly as possible, and hopefully we have they do well today, and still got a couple days before the game. So
We talked a lot about this Wednesday. It's obviously an unusual week with the schedule, the travel, all that. Are things kind of where you'd hope they would be in terms of the things you have to check off the list this week?
I think so. I mean, it was thought it was a good practice yesterday. It was good energy. Guys moved around well, so I think we're back into a normal week routine. So it's funny. I woke up this morning and told my wife I was landing in London a week ago. It was 10 o'clock there or 9:30 there. So it's good to be home in a normal routine.
Ryan, you're obviously working in practice every day, as you say, but talking about social media, about the status of the team with this losing streak, what are your conversations like with the guys? Obviously, with the talk of trading for a quarterback, how are your talks with the guys? Not about the football side, but about the mental side, about the mental strength that maybe this team has been lacking in those games that they have lost.
Those conversations, and I wouldn't say there's a lot of them. I mean, it's our guys are pretty focused on what's in front of us. I know it's near impossible to not read whatever's on social media, but I think they do a good job of ignoring most of the stuff outside of our building and listening to what our coaches are saying and trying to communicate with one another. I think it's a mentally tough team. I think I think they're sticking together. I think they're mentally tough, and I think we're just kind of rearing for another opportunity to get out there and play against a tough team and try to turn it around.
Well, what are some of the ways that you feel you, Chris, and the entire organization have supported Tua Tagovailoa since he became a Dolphin?
I think it's no different than we support any other player that we bring in. Try to get to know them, try to find out the best ways to teach, try to figure out strengths, weaknesses, and build on the strengths and you build on the weaknesses as well. I think, I think we try to support every player, and Tua's no different from that standpoint. And look, to me, that's what coaching is about. It's about trying to help each player become the best version of themselves. That's on the field, that's off the field. I think all of that is part of being, the best player, possible coach, possible whatever it is that you could be. There's a lot that goes into that. I don't think it's just one technique, one fundamental, a play call. I think there's a lot that goes into that, of supporting each individual player. And I think, that's the job, is to, do everything we can possibly do to help each player, reach their optimum level. I think we do that for every player. And Tua is no different.
Coach, the Falcons are the only offense in the NFL to have ran 50 plays out of 4 different personnel groupings. How does that versatility and the way they can kind of challenge your sub packages, what kind of challenge does that present to you guys on Sunday?
Yeah, they're very versatile. They got a lot of different groupings. They do a good job in really each one of those groupings that create matchups, or try to create matchups or mismatches, and they're balanced. So they do a nice job, really across the board, offensively, defensively, and in kicking game.
In regards to the defense in general, and I know you're involved, have you made it a point, would you care to say that you have or have not made it a point to be even more involved in the defensive planning, strategy, all that stuff this week?
I'm always involved. I'm always involved really across the board, with kind of thoughts here in the kicking game, thoughts offensively, thoughts defensively, matchups. I think we can try to take advantage of matchups. I think, we may need to help a guy, whether, whatever phase it is. So I try to stay involved really in all three phases. So
I wanted to ask you about Eric Rowe. Obviously, I felt like Eric had a pretty decent season last year with a couple of exceptions against some very good tight ends. This year, he's in a platoon situation. Where is he from a confidence standpoint and a getting the job done assignment-wise standpoint?
I think his confidence is high, as it should be. He's a good player. I think every week's a little bit different as far as matchups, as far as how we're going to attack defensively. We got some. That's a good group of safeties. I think got some young players there, got some veteran players, got some guys who do a few different things well. So trying to get them all in has turned really the whole thing into basically a matchup / grouping. What you're in these 2-3 groupings, and your guys are in these 2-3 groupings. But specific to Eric, I think he's a good player. He's done a lot of good things in this league, and we're going to need him.
You have so many safeties coming in and out of the game. How much? And I know you are a package-based team that's universal for everybody.
Yeah.
But with the safeties, they're so responsible for the back-end communication in the secondary. How much does that put a strain on that, considering you have not played to the level that you guys played last year?
Well, I think, communication is always critical. And regardless of who's in there, I think you have to have, that communication, and that's always at the forefront for safeties, linebackers. But, more often than not in those packages, there's always at least one guy who's in the majority of the time, and that may be by game or by, really more often than not, it's by game. Whether it's always McCourty in there or it's always Holland in there, there's always normally one particular guy, unless there's an injury, that's in there and kind of handling the majority of that communication. So we try to keep that the same. That'll always be the case, but between that person, Jerome Baker, who's in the game most of the time, we need to do a better job with our communication. But yeah, it's definitely a priority.
Question.
All right, guys. See you.
There you go. That's the head coach. Yes. The only question that was missing, and by the way, Yudi Cristofanti, thank you, sir, giving us a little love on the super chat. Appreciate you, Yudi. The one question that was left, and I actually text Omar and Joe, because as you know, two of our guys are very prominent in that press conference, Omar Kelly and Joe Shad. I text both guys. I said, hey, ask him straight up, Why can't you say we're not interested in trading for Deshaun Watson? Our quarterback is Tua Tagovailoa. And then you can see, because every time he answers the question, he doesn't really go all the way, but we haven't, as a media, painted him into a corner and forced him to ask the question. So say you're not going to be the Alabama coach. I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. Boom. Lie. Get it? And so when he says that, that he's addressed it and it's not a distraction and all that, it is a distraction. And he never really ever says, we have no interest in trading for Deshaun Watson, because he really can't say that. Because in the end, they still may have interest in trading for Deshaun Watson in the offseason. As I've told you over and 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 over again, that if Tua doesn't impress, then maybe in the offseason, going after Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson could be options. They're not trading for Deshaun Watson now. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it has. I'm going to stay steadfast on this the entire time. I don't believe Miami has been talking to them about trading for Watson since last offseason. When Watson came out publicly and said, I'm not playing for you guys anymore, boom, that's when they inquired. Then the allegations came in, and that's when nobody else probably really started dealing with them anymore. Now, has Houston had, maybe a conversation where they called people to gauge interest? Yes, I'm sure they've done that. And what are they doing now? Trying to stir up interest again. What did I tell you guys yesterday? Do you remember our conversation yesterday? And what did I tell you that my cynical mind is thinking? Because I've been at this for a long time. This is Houston desperate to make a deal for Watson now because they don't know what the offseason holds. And if they find him guilty, they lose all leverage. Of course, if he's innocent, they will gain all the leverage in the world. But right now, they don't know. And neither does Miami, and neither does any other team. I don't believe there's a team in the NFL that is negotiating right now with the Houston Texans for the services of Deshaun Watson. Why? Because common sense tells you there are 22 civil lawsuits. There are 10 criminal investigations going on. There is nothing resolved. Nobody has insight. So this is all coming from Houston. And John McClain, while incredibly respected, never said that a deal was going to be done. He says, well, I hear it could even be done until by the deadline. You hear, but not, it's a done deal that it's going to happen. It's not like Woj coming out and Schefter coming out saying, hey, boom, this trade's happening. They're giving up this pick. They're giving up that player and these concessions. And they tell you the entire trade. Nothing is going on like that. This has been a bunch of effing hot air from the get-go. That's all it's been. I'm not telling you that Miami isn't interested. I'm not telling you that Philadelphia isn't interested. I'm not telling you that Carolina might not be interested. They might be interested, but they're all waiting for resolution first. Because common sense tells you, how do you trade for a guy that could be a criminal? That's all you need to know. And that's what it comes down to. And yes, this is a distraction. I don't care what Cam Flo thinks. And Camflo never comes out and says, we have no interest in trading for Watson. Tua Tagovailoa is the Miami Dolphins franchise quarterback. Let's stop with the silliness. I'm tired of these distractions you guys are creating, and you in the media are creating distractions for us. I don't know what's going on in Houston. Maybe they're trying to trade Watson, but I wish they would keep the Miami Dolphins name out of the mix. How do you like that? Can you say that? Yeah, you can say that. Have you done it? No, you haven't. Why haven't you? Because you're leaving the door open for the offseason. That's why. So don't tell me that it's not a distraction, because it's a distraction. They're still asking you. And Camflo, by the way, dude, this whole offensive coordinator mess that you created, you could have ended it a long time ago by putting the hammer down and saying, this is how it's done. I don't care what the F Trent Dilfer says. Jay Feely is full of shit. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. This is how it's done. End of story. But you had to make it so secretive. So then what happens? People start to then try to decipher it. And then you've got Feely throwing comments and Trent Dilfer polluting the waters. Camflo, dude, you don't have any advantage by telling us who's calling the plays and who doesn't. There is zero advantage to this. There is no strategical ammunition that you get from this. It's the silliest secret in the world. And when you stand up there on the podium, Camflo, and you say, well, I don't know why I got to repeat myself. Because, dude, you've never been clear. And you try to mislead, and you try to make it sound like this is top secret or something. It's a bunch of bullshit, dude. Who's the offensive coordinator? Say it and move on. But you created such a mess that you create the distraction. You don't answer the question from Watson, you create the distraction. I'm just saying, man. This is what happens with rookie coaches. They thoroughly have to go through the mistakes and embarrass themselves in order to learn. Somebody's got to ask him, just like Lenny Martez and Dave Hyde did to Nick Saban years ago. You must corner them and say, Camflo, why won't you just come clean and say this already? Say, we are not interested in trading for Deshaun Watson because Tua Tagovailoa is our franchise quarterback. Why can't you say that? Corner him. But you're letting him out. You're letting him squirm out of the question without having to really answer it. And that's what happened with Saban. And when Len Martez asked him the question and Dave Hyde followed up, there was no escape for Saban. He had to answer it. You want me to just say it? Yes, we want you to just say it. Okay, I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. Boom. So when you avoid the direct question, because they have not asked him the direct question, you will get a direct answer. Because if he doesn't answer it directly, you got your answer. If he answers it directly, the way Saban did, you got your answer, and now we will find out the result. And we will find out if your answer is the truth or it's a lie. But these coaches for Flo and his entire staff, if you notice, when they ask them questions, these guys are thinking constantly before they answer it, because they have to answer it in a way that does not incriminate them in any way, shape, or form. And I don't mean incriminate in a way of criminal activity. I mean, like, catch them in a lie, catch them overconfident about something, over analyzing about something, whatever it is. They're trying to find a way to answer a question to not end up in a loophole. That's the whole thing for them. That's what this entire staff does every time they're answering some of the tougher questions. They find a way to dodge it and go in another direction without answering it. And that's what Cam Flo has done. He hasn't answered the question. And we haven't asked it directly. We got to ask it directly. Plain and simple. Why do you continue to dance around it? Why don't you answer the question? Because you seem to be linked to Deshaun Watson, but you say Tua is your quarterback. Can you definitively say you have no interest in trading for Deshaun Watson because Tua Tagovailoa is our starting quarterback? And when he doesn't answer that question, you got your answer. And when he gets really pissed off, you got your answer. But that question needs to be asked of Cam Flo directly, the way they did with Saban. Let's see. Flo is maddening. This isn't the KGB or quantum physics. I know. Flo is like the Enigma. That's what he tries to be the Enigma. The Enigma was a little bit more successful back in the day until it was deciphered finally. Wonder if our PR or communications guy, Jason Jenkins, ever talked with Cam Flo. He's probably wouldn't listen anyway. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's Jason or somebody else that's doing it, or Brad, or I don't know who walks the coach through what to expect and all those kind of things. Let's see. What else do we have here? Richard says coaches are like politicians. They're not just going to come out because of that with everything you want them to come out with, because if they do, they will poison the locker room. If they don't, if it doesn't work out. Exactly. But in this case, you have to corner him, and they haven't cornered him yet. That's the problem. They've asked it in a way that he can kind of dodge it. And you've got to ask it in a way where he can't dodge it, that if he dodges it, he answered it. And that's really what's left. That's the only thing that's left. You know why Flo can't answer the question, Big O. I know, Miami Mike. That's why you got to put him in a corner. That's my point. Saban did the same thing, dude. Saban did the same thing. He danced until Martez and Hyde cornered his ass. Okay? And if it wasn't for Martez and Hyde cornering his ass and forcing him to answer the question, the only way you can answer it, because you cannot dodge it at that point, that's what you got to do in this case. And it has not been asked the right way to corner him and make him answer the question. That's all. I'm honestly curious how many people are still going to be chanting Watson, Watson, Watson if Tua comes out this week and has a great game and we defeat Atlanta. Big O, I never agree with firing someone, but damn, Flores is pissing me off. And you know what? Having said all that, I still don't want Cam Flo fired. I still don't want these guys fired. I want these guys to figure it out. I really do. And I know that's the wrong thing to say for a lot of you out there that want blood and all that stuff. And, but I've watched so much change, so much turnover that I just, if I think if Flo maybe can make some changes and get some veteran coaches this offseason, find a way to improve his staff, I think this team can make some drastic improvement. I really do. Because I don't believe it's all about, personnel and talent, that it's not good enough and this and that. No, I'm watching veteran players underachieve, not just young players. There's too much underachieving. There's just too much inconsistencies going on. There's just bad calls also going on. I just have a problem with a lot of the way. Look, I just pointed out a couple things there that the coach just continues to do, and whether it's on the field, off the field, he's not handling things the right way. And that's the problem right now. I think, to me, that's the biggest problem. But, that's a discussion we've had, obviously, for the last couple of weeks. Isaac says, if he admits interest in Watson, would that be the final dagger in the heart of the team? That's my point. That's my point. That then you'll know. Then you'll know why you're 1-5. You can't be coaching one quarterback wanting another. Your team's going to know. Then your team's not going to follow the current quarterback. You see what I'm saying? So as long as you let this fester, do you think there aren't players inside that locker room right now thinking, damn, coach not a fan of Tua? Is he going to trade for Watson? And then another player's talking with another player. So wait a minute. So they talk about character and all that, and we're going to trade for Deshaun Watson. I mean, think about that. If you want people with character, remember Flo said that, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago? He had that statement out there. Okay, so if you want people of character, Watson definitely is not it, right? Innocent or guilty? Guilty, obviously, but even innocent. Not the guy you want on your franchise. So you want the face of your franchise, the quarterback. You want him publicly going out, DMing IG models, DMing them for sex to put himself again in this position down the line. That's the kind of leader you want on your team? A guy that could be a sexual predator? That's character? That's the guy you want to put on your programs? That's the guy you want to put on your tickets? That's the guy you want to put on billboards on the stadium? Is that the guy you're going to put on I-95 and 595 and I-75? Come buy Dolphin tickets? Really? Is that, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell me you want character people on your team and then you're trading for Deshaun Watson. That doesn't make any sense. Clearly, that's a questionable character right there. So that's what you want. You want the face of your team, a horny bastard, just calling strange women all over the place to put himself in this position. Okay. All right. I mean, if that's where we're going, Now, just understand that every time you tell me something, I can't believe you anymore. Okay? Let's just be clear here now. If you tell me that you want character and this is what you're doing, then don't ever tell me again that you're looking for talent or you're looking for a fast player or you're looking for whatever, because now I won't believe anything because you're a liar. Because Deshaun Watson, innocent or guilty, is a questionable character. Raphael Courtnight says NFL covered it up with Big Ben. I don't think the NFL covered it up. I think Big Ben covered it up. And nobody else could prove it. That was the problem. When you got a cop, protecting the bathroom, whatever. So, and by the way, this, you know what I love about America sometimes and stupid ass ignorant arguments is that some of you want to allow someone else to get away with something if someone else got away with it. Think about what it says about you. You. Okay? Think about what that says about you. That just in case somebody else got away. So Leonard Little got away with killing a woman, DUI, years ago, and then got arrested for DUI again 2 years later. And the league let him back in. So next week, when an NFL player kills someone, we should allow him back in because we allowed Leonard Little. Or because Ben Roethlisberger had the proper representation and he was able to rig the whole thing and allegedly get away with sexual assault, we should let, Watson get away with sexual assault. I love the reasoning of some of you out there. So if one president is terrible with the deficit and, sends our deficit up another 20%, and the next president comes along and is just as bad or maybe slightly worse, it's all right because the president before from the other party was terrible against the deficit. So don't pick on our guy for that. Yeah. I love that reasoning from some of you out there. Man, that really says a lot about you. Let's take a quick break. Hour number 2 next.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, aka the Big O, he covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Fly Pablo in the.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, baby, we are back. Hope you all are doing well out there. I love it. Boy, some of your reasoning out there is just Big O Show. Just like military officers get a lot more than enlisted. I've seen 2 Marines get DUIs, and yet an officer gets less punishment. Used to be chaser for my infantry unit. So that justifies it all, right? So if somebody can get away with it, we should allow somebody else to get away with it. So if one teacher, sleeps with kids and is able to get away with it, we should let all teachers sleep with kids, of course, because, and what was the other one that I saw that was also funny as hell? Where is it? Here we go. Here it is. What is it? Shake Money. Where's the Shake Money? Here we go. Shake Money. Only in America, where a man is found innocent in a court, is found guilty in the court of opinions. That don't mean jack crap. Okay, so you think OJ is innocent? Huh, Shake? And let's just say, for craps and giggles, Watson is innocent. But is he really innocent? Or is he not guilty of incredible stupidity and possibly a crime that he might have gotten away with? Because, as you all know, people like Watson and Robert Kraft and O.J. Simpson and Bill Cosby and Let me see. I'm trying to think of some of the other. These are people that they have money and power, and somehow or another they get away with Big Ben, and they get away with things. It helps to be famous. It helps to have power. It helps to be able to afford the best attorneys. But it doesn't justify your behavior. Okay? And Watson has not behaved like a franchise quarterback. Because if you think your franchise quarterback should be calling strange women to have sex, that makes no sense at all. Whether you're Watson, whether you're Tom Hanks, whether you're The Rock, whether you're, doesn't matter. I don't know, whoever you want to come up with, any famous person, the last thing you want to do as a famous and powerful person is to be calling up strange women to either come to your house or you go to theirs so they can give you, a rub and tug. Where do you think that's going to end up? You think that's not going to end up in a lawsuit at one point or another? You think that by calling strange women and you're a famous person, you think if Justin Timberlake started calling strange women to come play with his ding-a-ling, okay, how many lawsuits do you think Justin Timberlake ends up with? Whether he ends up assaulting them or not, it doesn't matter. But he incredibly was stupid enough to put himself in that position. So whatever you want to say, okay, about Robert Kraft or about Deshaun Watson, they're both effing morons. That's all. Yeah, you can get your rocks off, dude. But when you're those kind of people, yeah, you got to be careful how you get your rocks off. When you're Robert Kraft and you're Deshaun Watson, you got to have better judgment how you want to get your rocks off. You don't want to call strange women on IG, and you don't want to go to an Asian day spa. I mean, look at it however you want. Just please don't tell me that we've got to have character people on our team and now you're trading for Deshaun Watson. Just don't tell me that. Okay? Don't lie to me. Just tell me we want to win at all costs and we don't care who we bring on our football team. We don't care who we add to our community. Because if Deshaun Watson's going to now go on to call strange women all around South Florida, well, guess what? He's going to end up with more lawsuits. So if any of you out there are dumb enough not to think that he's a stupid ass, I can't help you. And if you guys out there and ladies are dumb enough not to think that he's a questionable character, I can't help you either. So I don't care whether he's innocent or guilty. He's a first-class dumbass. And that's not a guy of character. Sorry. Daniel Grafton, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. A little love on the super chat. He says, please put up a pic of Watson's girlfriend. The position of the pallet rack city, googly eyes, tongue out is the perfect placement. I just picked up on that, man. That is good. That is good. Good job by you, sir. Good job by you. You are correct by saying that. That's probably the right thing right there. Yes. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, a Jilly picture. Let's see. Let's Let's come up with a Jilly picture, huh? Let's do that. Let's give you let's give you the latest Jilly picture that we have here for you all while I'm talking about Deshaun Watson. Let's just remind folks what he's cheating on a consistent basis. Okay? That's all. Let's just remind you. All right? There you go. Ian from Brooklyn goes, she's so damn fine. You can't fix stupid, Big O. No, you can't. You can't. Willie Maldonado says, Big O, these are the kind of people that think that wrestling is real. Jean Princesa says, the thing I haven't heard once is whether or not he would change his behavior if acquitted. Well, Gene, he's not going to talk about that right now because he's in the middle of a lawsuit. So he can't talk about his behavior because they would use it against him. He can't talk at all right now. If his lawyers probably told him, yo, Deshaun, get lost. Don't talk. Don't say anything. You know, we had a guy that was in this big white house in Washington, D.C., and he had orange hair, and he didn't shut up enough. He opens his mouth too much to get himself in even more trouble, and I'm sure his lawyers wanted him to shut up at times. Well, see, that's one thing where I give Watson a little more credit than the dude with the orange hair, because Watson has stayed completely out of the spotlight, and when you've got 32 different issues going on, 22 civil lawsuits, and 10 criminal investigations going on, you don't want to say a damn thing. You want to stay nice and quiet, and you can't address anything. So that part that you're looking for, contrition and trying to find out if he understands that he's a real dumbass, he won't be able to talk about any of that until it's all over and he finally joins a team, and then somebody in the press asks him directly about it, okay? Or he goes on Oprah or something, because Oprah would let him have it. I would love to see Watson go on Oprah. That would be really good. That would be really good, because Oprah doesn't hold back. Kevin Lee, Big O, saw how did the Heat yesterday, blew out Milwaukee. Nice. Let's hope some of the winning rubs off on Miami this Sunday. Let's get a W one step at a time. Let's hope so, man. We need a W badly, man. Badly. Herman says, common, man. It's damn in the NFL. You think Aaron Rodgers did it in day one? He started after his third year, Dean Brown. By the way, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning also took time. So stop it. Yeah, plenty of quarterbacks take time to develop. People like Watson think that they think with the wrong head. Don't listen to the little one too much. It's leading you the wrong way. LOL. Deshaun Waxum. Karen S says, Big O, not sure why Greer and Flores think they can simply massage the pain away with the Watson trade. I don't know. I don't think they're trading. I'm telling you, I don't know anything here. Okay. The only thing I know is that Jillian Anais or whatever is smoking hot, and how Deshaun Watson is cheating on that is impossible to think of, but whatever. I don't think the Dolphins are inquiring about Watson right now. I don't want to blame Greer and Flo for something that they didn't do. I don't believe they've been inquiring about Watson at all over the last couple of months. I think this has been all driven by Houston. All these reports have come. It's not ever Omar, Armando, Joe Shad, Alan Poupar. It's not Dave Hyde. It's nobody in South Florida is reporting it. They're not reporting it. Schefter's not reporting it. So I think it's all coming from the Houston side. When any of this stuff comes out, it comes from the Houston side. It doesn't come from anywhere else. So I think I'm telling you, okay? Yeah, Miami inquired in the offseason, but during the season, I don't think they've inquired at all. I'm telling you, Houston doesn't know where they stand. So they're nervous. This is a little bit of a panic move by Houston. Has nothing to do with Miami, Philly, Carolina, any other team that you want to throw in there that could be interested in Deshaun Watson. I don't think any team in the NFL is making a deal with them right now, negotiating or anything right now, because they know there's too much of the unknown. I'm telling you, this is Houston going, this is our last window of opportunity before the unknown. Because if this guy's found guilty, we are screwed. How about if Houston knows something else that's going on and they're nervous? So they're trying to stir it up to try to get rid of him as soon as possible. But once November 2nd passes, then they're at the mercy of the courts. And then if he's found innocent, they're good. But if he's found guilty, they lose everything. They can't trade him for anything. So now, by November 2nd, you're able to trade him for something. So that's, I think, what's going on. More than anything, I think that's what's driving it. Let me tell you something else that's not ever good. When the authorities are quiet. That's a scary thing. When you don't hear anything from the authorities, they might be piling up the evidence against your ass. So when they do go after you, they are locked and loaded. So we don't know what's going to go on. Deshaun could be innocent of these charges. He could be guilty. We have no idea. So to me, that's what really is going on right now. It's Houston doing all of this. It's been Houston driving this for months. It's just now coming to a head. Think about it, man. It just, you've got to be a moron to trade for him now. Unless you're just giving up like 3 third-rounders or something. If you're not giving up much, then I get it. But they're going to ask for the world. So there's no way anybody is giving up anything of value for that guy right now. Because if he ends up being guilty, do you know how stupid you're going to look as a franchise that you traded for a criminal? Because basically, if he's found guilty, he's a criminal. So you traded for a criminal. In today's society, do you know what kind of look that is? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. If he wants to come to Miami, we don't have to rush it. Nelson, dude, you know, you carry common sense, my brother. You know, you're a smart human being. You may not belong in this conversation, my brother. Your IQ may be too high for us right now, because I got to deal with the Neanderthals that, well, if Big Ben gets away with it, why can't Watson get away with it? Come on, let's go. Oh, who cares? Oh, so he's trying to get laid, Big O. Leave him alone. Let him come to Miami. We've got more tail here than they do in Houston. Let's go. You know, that's what I'm dealing with. So I apologize, Nelson. You're too smart for us right now. And you're right. Nelson hit it on the head. Apparently, he's got a no-trade clause, and he wants to be in Miami. Let me ask you something. Last offseason, when he made the declaration, do you think that Greer and the agent didn't have a conversation at one point for 5 minutes? Hey, what's up? Yeah, hey, so your client's unhappy? Yeah, no, Chris, if you can trade for him, go for it, because he wants to be there. That's it. So he's got a no-trade clause. He wants to be in Miami. You're Chris Greer and Brian Flores. Why would you force a trade now and create all kinds of havoc? Why wouldn't you wait till the end of the year, hopefully build value for Tua? He plays well. Now you can trade him in the offseason and then trade for Watson if he's cleared, because Watson's going to tell Houston, no, dude, you're not trading me there. You're not trading me there. You're trading me to Miami, or you're not trading me. How about that? I just sat out the year and you paid me $10 million. I'll sit out next year and you'll pay me $10 million again. How do you like them apples? So my man, Nelson, has a brain and thinks for himself. And there's no reason to rush this. There's no reason to create any kind of havoc right now. The guy wants to play for you. But first, you have to find out if he can play for anybody by being innocent. This is all hot air. This is all bullshit. And I've been right all along from the get-go. I've told you that it wasn't going to happen. Every other time it's popped up, it's not happening again. Okay? Won't be the first time I'm wrong either, but I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you this is all bullshit. Doesn't make any sense. So, look at it however you want. All right, let's take a quick break. Let me see. Let me make sure. I think we're gonna get Manny Navarro now here. So let's do this. Let's take a really quick break. When we come back on the other side, no more Jilly for you, okay? Let's take Jilly out. There. You guys had enough Jilly, okay? All right. You had enough of the Rack City. But you should call Pallet Rack City if you do own a warehouse. Their racks are just as hot as Jilly. I'm telling you, they're going to make your warehouse look sexy. All right? So make sure you call Eddie Pereira and all the great people over there at Pallet Rack City, 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547, my friends at Pallet Rack City. All right, let's take a quick break, and we will come back. Manny Navarro will join us from The Athletic. We'll talk a little Canes as the Canes get ready to take on NC State. Remember, you can reach out on the text line 855-912-1056. I can read those texts when we after the Manny interview. If you got a question, a comment, you don't want to put it on the YouTube chat board, 855-912-1056. We'll read your text line after the Manny Navarro interview. Don't forget, you can also make a donation to the program. Help us grow, folks. Cash App or Venmo. The address is Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate it as always. Quick break. Back with Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, AKA the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Scotty Pablo in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com.
All righty, we are back. We, of course, take you till 1 o'clock. We are waiting. Manny Navarro, trying to get in contact with him. Omar Kelly is set to join us around 12:15. Appreciate all of you out there. Remember, you can reach out on the YouTube channel if you're listening to the podcast day, night, overnight, whatever. Give us your opinions on the text line, 855-912-1056. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. It is so important that you smash the like button, okay, folks? All right. Daniel Grafton says, Riddick says and looks the part, but he's been a TV guy for too long. And who says that he can be a great GM if he hasn't been one for almost a decade? That's the problem. You don't know. See, that's the thing about, I get it, man. You're unhappy with Greer. You're unhappy with Flores. You want to fire everybody, all that good stuff. You have nobody that you're hiring that you feel like, okay, they'll get the job done. You have no idea. You know, Louis Riddick might do a good job, and then again, he might be terrible, and you might be wanting to fire him in 2 years. So it's just like this vicious cycle that we're in. And I was really happy with the first 2 years, and so this year is the year that I'm obviously disappointed, and that's why I don't want to just give up on everything going on. I'd love to see them turn this thing around and play a lot better and coach a lot better. And like I told you, if I can get Tua headed in the right direction, then I can feel even better about the Dolphins, because at least I know you've solved the quarterback issue. You know what I mean? Rico's couch says, oh, speak for yourself. I want to go to an Asian day spa. Yeah, but Rico, you can go to an Asian day spa because you're Rico. But if you're Deshaun Watson or you're Robert Kraft, you should not be going to an Asian day spa. Understand? Because Rico will not make the news. They won't care about Rico. Rico is going to go there and he's going to be happy. He's going to get his happy ending. He'll walk out. Nobody will find out. Nobody will care. And your life moves on. But if you're Robert Kraft, yeah, that's not a good decision. So, Rico, cógelo suave and hit that Asian day spa. The vanguards of manhood say waiting is the smart move. Watson's legal issues are not worth the risk, with so many other women waiting in the wings. That's right. Never pay a full price for damaged goods. Watson is damaged goods right now. And he's kind of untouchable. Ramona says, you are right, Ortiz. Flores should be a GM, not a coach. Last year, he did the ballsy calls. This year, he plays safe. Ramona, you want him as a GM? The guy that didn't want Eric Flowers, but he wanted the young lineman instead? So you want the guy that doesn't want Fitzpatrick, but he wants Jacoby Brissett. So you want the guy that doesn't want Kyle Van Noy here. Okay. All right. That's the last thing I want. I don't want Flo. I've already gotten a taste of what Flo does in personnel. I've understood it. The first 2 years there was too much, turnover. This third year, you can tell Flo's imprint on personnel. It's so effing obvious. So you start watching all the stuff that went on, and it's like, yeah, no, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no, you get rid of Bobby McCain, and no, maybe what you should have done is kept Bobby McCain, and you bring, the young safety, Javon Holland, along slowly. Maybe you keep Eric Flowers, and you bring the young lineman along slowly. Maybe Andrew Van Ginkel played better off of Kyle Van Noy, not replacing Kyle Van Noy. Yeah. No, Ramona, you may want to rethink that whole thing about Flo as in personnel. I know he said he worked personnel. I've already gotten a taste of it this year. I don't want Flo anywhere near personnel. Okay? So I'm wondering about some of these things that I was going on. Like, did he want Jalen Phillips instead of Gregory Rousseau? Was that his? That's one that I don't know. Not that there's anything wrong with Jalen Phillips. He's starting to get better, but obviously Rousseau has made a quicker transition because he is so physically imposing. He's already country strong. He's already NFL strong. Whereas Jalen is like most young linemen when they come in, offense or defense, they're rarely ever strong enough to handle. Look at they're all after all of this stuff. By the way, where are all these people that we're talking about? Penei Sewell, who is struggling in Detroit. Struggling in Detroit. But a lot of you were thought, well, we should have gotten Penei Sewell. Well, Penei Sewell, and he'll be fine. But even Penei Sewell is not strong enough for this level yet. Even Penei Sewell is not sharp enough for this level yet. The other guy, Rashawn Slater, has absolutely outplayed him by miles. So instead of complaining about Waddle, you take Penei Sewell, and then all of you are ripping Chris Greer because he should have taken Rashawn Slater. But I don't see any of you anymore, chiming back on the chat board, on the email. Hey, oh, by the way, I was talking so much shit about Penei Sewell instead of the Waddle thing, but now I've noticed that Penei Sewell has really struggled a lot. So I got to say I'm wrong. But because none of us track any of you out there that were talking shit about Penei Sewell, actually Waddle is having a better year than Penei Sewell. But hey, listen, you guys are so stand up out there. All of you out there, you all wanted Herbert. You didn't want Tua. Yeah. I remember it was tank for Justin. It wasn't tank for Tua. It was tank for Justin. And I remember leading up to the draft, all these people wanted Justin Herbert. Yeah. And nobody wanted Tua. Everybody wanted Herbert. Yeah. No, I remember that. All of you that were bragging about Sewell, you've disappeared. All of you that wanted Tua, you now say, no, I wanted Herbert. I didn't want Tua. Kevin Lee says, Big O, I just want to say, listening to your show gets me through my workday when working till 4 p.m. daily. It makes my workday that much easier. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Thomas Jensen says, I think Flo is just Cam Flo, by the way, is just going through the motions. I think he's sick to his stomach with the dysfunction going on behind the scenes. Well, Thomas, he's created the dysfunction. He created the offensive mess. He's created his own mess with Tua. He chose to have all young linemen. He's created that mess. Bet your ass on that. So it's all up to him now. He keeps Albert Wilson on the active roster. He creates the mess. Mr. Spock. Let me do it this one. There we go. Right. Let's see, Mr. Spock. Why would Watson want to come to Miami if he's serious about winning? Just hope Watson is set on playing football and not coming here for a good time. Miami is full of distractions. Don't need nothing but a good time. How can I resist? That's I don't know if you know that, but that's Watson's theme song. He's a big Poison fan. SoCal Derek says, Big O, I got you on my TV on YouTube in Southern California. Love the show on a 65-inch television. Hells to the yeah. My man is watching on a 65-inch television. Is that awesome or what? You know what's awesome about a 65-inch television? The best part is that you can see Jilly. You know what I'm saying? Like you can watch Jilly on a 65-inch television. There you go. Let me show you a little more Jilly. A little more Jilly. Let's see. Let's go with a little more Jilly. Where's Jilly? There we go. There's Jilly. There we go. There we go. Let's give you a little Jilly. What the hell is going on here? Here we go. Got like some chat board coming up. The hell? Yeah, how come this thing's not? There we go. There we go. That's just for you, buddy, on a 65-inch television. Just to give you a little more Jilly. Marvin Allen will take over if I'm a betting man. Cam Flo keeps Wilson on roster because he has a leg fetish and Wilson looks great in shorts. That's fantastic. Mike No Go Zone says, nice. I like the Poison reference. That's because you like to party too, Mikey. Michael Cruz says, Panthers look really good. Oh, I think this is the year we win the cup. Very deep team. Time to hunt. Hashtag time to hunt. Jean says, they could have stayed at 11 and got Slater, But IMO, Sewell is still young. He's like 20 or so. The jury's still out on him. Sewell will be fine. He's just young. He's just got to grow up. That's all. No big deal. There you go. Just a little jilly for you guys. Nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with a little jilly. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a jilly day today on the show. Maybe that's what we should do. Have a jilly day today on the show. That way we could just give you guys, treats all throughout. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Just treats all throughout. So that's the other thing. Think about this guy. Not only is he cheating at least with 22 women on this woman, but not only that, you're cheating on that. I mean, all kinds of so you put yourself in a position where you can get in trouble by being with 22 different women, which of course they find out you're Deshaun Watson, they're going to obviously go after some money. That's if he's innocent. Okay, if he's guilty, then he assaulted these women, and that's why they're going after him. But then you're cheating on that. That doesn't make any sense. This just makes zero sense, folks. I'm telling you, 0 cents. This makes none, nada, nay. That's all I can tell you. All right, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. You guys good with that picture there? Is that all right? Done? All right. No more jelly. Okay? That's it. There you go. Just gave you guys a little dosage. Miami Kid J says, Big O, Dolphins lose 24-17 on Sunday. Sadly, we'll be staring at 1-6. Why, man? Why you got to do with it? Why you got to do that? Why you got to be a sourpuss and ruin our night? This is wrong. By the way, great job by the Panthers. How about the the Panthers? You can tell the difference, right? Anton Lundell made his debut the other night and got, made a debut and got his first goal the other night, right? And him and Knight led the way. Last night, the kid has a goal and assist. 20-year-old baby. First round pick in the 2020 draft at the 12th overall pick in the first round. And this kid with 1 year of seasoning is now here with the big boys and making an impact. And this is the kind of shit you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Panthers, man. They just know what the hell they're doing. Reinhard Verhaeghe picked up goals. Bennett got a goal yesterday. 4-1 win over the Avalanche. Bob with 30 saves. First time in Panther history, they're 4-0. If they have the goalie play that we think they can have, then this is going to be a team that's going to make one hell of an impact. I mean, this is going to be fun, dude. Tomorrow this is such a pisser. Tomorrow the Heat take on Indiana at 7, and the Panthers take on the Flyers at 7, both on the road. I'll be on the road too. I'm going to be at the Culture Room seeing the Fix. But my point is, and I'll have both recorded, so when I get home I can watch them, but kind of sucks for people to have to choose between the two right now. Because this is like This is our saving grace right now in South Florida. Panthers and Heat, man. These are our best teams in town right now. By the way, both teams are 5-0 now combined. Panthers and the Heat have not lost a game yet. They've won their first 5 games together. So let's see on Saturday if the two teams, let's see if the two teams actually, let's see how long they can continue the undefeated streak together here to start the season. It's pretty cool. So, and both will have an opportunity. Panthers can beat the Flyers, and the Heat should beat the Pacers. Now, they are road games, so it's never easy. Jason Romero giving us a little love on the super chat. Says, what's up, Bo? Why hasn't Waddle been given opportunities to make plays in the vertical game? Why is he being used like a possession receiver? Jason, are you watching the offensive line play, my brother? Do you think the quarterback has any time to find people downfield? It's not that easy, my brother. It's nice in a perfect world, but he doesn't get to drop back 5 or 7 steps and bounce a couple of times and scan the field and bam. No, he doesn't get to do that. It's snap, drop, throw, snap, drop, throw, snap, drop, throw. You don't have time. Has nothing to do with Tua. Has everything to do with the offensive line. You don't have an offensive line. The guy's playing with fractured ribs already as it is because somebody blindsided him. The kid has to play with a paranoia now, and he has to get rid of the football quickly. Until that line learns how to block and give him time, he can't stand back there and wait for free defenders to just crush his ass because he's waiting to throw a bomb downfield. Doesn't work that way. So it sounds great in theory, but in reality, it's nearly impossible to do it. That's the sad part. It's not Waddle's fault. It's not Tua's fault. It's everything else's fault. Omar Kelly, by the way, is set to join us. What's it called? Sean, send him a link, by the way, and send Manny a link too, because that's probably what's going on. They probably had issues with the link since we had to redo it. So send them a link. We will get Omar Kelly on. And we'll have a little fun with that. Okay? That's what we'll do. So we'll get Omar on. We'll get Manny on in this hour coming up. And we'll talk a little Dolphins and we'll talk a little Hurricanes with you all out there. God says, Big O, I thought Tua did amazing avoiding the sacks. Tua was awesome last week, dude. He was awesome last week. Considering what he's playing with, he was fantastic. My Stanley Cup predictions, Kevin says, it's Stars versus Panthers. I'll take it. Willie says, my pork neck and fin hat rock. Well, thank you. I could take pride in the hat, right? But not in the pork neck. Well, what can I do, right? I mean, I'm stuck with a pork neck. David says, fix. Top 5 80s band? Probably not, but they're top 5 in my heart, which is all that really matters. All right, let's quick break here. Very fast break. In other words, introduction coming for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Friday. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sideway Omar. Oh, no. Okay. Right side up, Omar. Okay. There we go.
I'm going to sit on the floor so I don't have to keep holding the phone.
Okay.
There we
go.
go.
I see. You got to get like, you know what you need?
A stand. I'm not carrying.
What you need to you don't need to carry that, bro. Look.
Listen, my shoulders are so on fire because of how much crap I carry in my book bag. I went to a massage parlor, not a rub and tug like Deshaun Watson likes.
That's Kraft. Let's get the violators right now.
Okay,
that's Robert Kraft. Okay,
I went to a massage parlor yesterday. The woman walked on my back, and it was quite an experience. But she was just like, yeah, how tense your shoulders are. She says, yeah, you need to come every week. And I was just like, you know what? I might need to consider that to make this pressure go away. So I'm not putting one extra thing in my book bag.
So you went to a massage without a happy ending.
That is correct. I mean, yeah, that's correct. I'll just leave it there.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying.
Like, wouldn't you like somebody to massage you for an hour?
Yes.
Why should I deny myself that right and privilege?
Or the happy ending?
Let's move on. My wife can give me happy endings. That's the correct answer. I'm not going to pull a Flores and give a no statement there. Yes. My wife can provide all the happy endings I need.
All right. Speaking of happy endings. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell happened here? I got it.
I'm like, what you trying to show me over here? Is that Deshaun Watson's girlfriend? Fiance? Yeah, I know. Hey, bro, I know why he want to come to Miami. Let's not be naive about it.
I'm just saying, why you floating around when you got that at home, dude? That's all I'm saying. I'm just wondering, like, why are you calling weird ass women when you got that at home? I'm just saying. That's all. Okay, but that's just entertainment there for you. All right, I saw the press conference with Cam Flo. Now, and I sent you the text. We need to ask him specifically, just like that. Why haven't you said you guys are not interested in trading for Deshaun Watson because Tua is our quarterback? And I'd love to see how he backs away from that, because what we need to do in the media is do what Len Martez and Dave Hyde did to Nick Saban. They positioned the question in a way that Nick could not get away from it, and he was forced to say, I'm not going to be the Alabama coach, and then we know what the rest is. It's history, and you find out the truth. We haven't asked him directly, why can't you say publicly, we are not interested in trading for Deshaun Watson because Tua is our quarterback?
Well, I don't feel like he's already said Tua is our quarterback.
Yeah, no, but he hasn't said
together. I'm not interested in having anybody, and I saw your text, and I felt like he already suffered a couple of knockdowns in that press conference. I didn't feel like this isn't the time. Next week before the trade deadline on Monday, I might go for the jugular, but I'll let him tap dance, and I'll let him pretend like this isn't a distraction. Like, bro, I've heard from half your team already. Like, yeah,
of course it's a distraction.
This is a distraction. Like, you if you don't think it's a distraction, then you're a moron. And
it's just like, you know what, dude? It's the same thing as the offensive coordinator stuff. There was no reason to act top secret with this shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, there is. Because yes, there is. He doesn't want you to have anybody to blame. He doesn't want you to have one specific person to blame for the shit show that you're looking at.
The other 31 teams, we know who the offensive coordinator is.
He does not want you to have one specific person to blame for the shit show. That's what it's about.
It all goes to him anyway. You hired the
does.
offensive coordinator. You created the whole thing. So in the end, dude, it doesn't really matter because all rivers flow to Brian. I mean, come on.
I like that. I might steal that. I might borrow that. Like, listen, no, all rivers don't flow to Brian. All rivers flow to Chris Greer and Brian. They are in unison and
on the
lockstep.
coaching side. I'm talking about the coaching.
Oh, okay.
These
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
decisions that he's
That-
talking about.
That absolutely does flow to him.
The distractions that we're talking about. All
Man, you got
rivers
to
flow
get
in.
this girl off my screen. She's a tremendous distraction. Thank you. Appreciate that. Like, Lord have mercy. Like, goodness gracious. Like, she is a smoke show. Like, not to be disrespectful to my future quarterback's fiance or wife, but like
she's a smoke
man.
show and a half, bro. Like from a 1 to 10, she's a 13. dude.
That's one of the things that I always enjoyed about hanging with Miko. Like, the players' wives, girlfriends were always around, and you'd be like, "Oh my God!" Like Rashad Jones's baby mama. Like, oh Lord have mercy. Anyway, let's move on to another conversation.
Yeah, but those are
These-
always.
They don't do as good as NBA players, but they do very well. Like NBA players now, come on, there's no competition. That, like, the women know where the money is.
Yeah, but they also get in way more trouble. Like on the
baby
mama side.
Yeah, okay.
They end up with more baby mamas. You know, there are some Le'Veon Bells in the world and all that, but the NBA players, oh my God, dude. They're coaches that end up. What was the name of the little short coach that coach for the Bulls? He was a Magic player. Oh, damn it, man. He was one of
NBA
those.
life is hard. It might be hard.
Well, even that coach had like 5 different kids with 5 different women from traveling around because he was a player and then he was a coach. I forgot the guy's name.
He's weak on the pullout game. That's all it is.
Little white
Avery.
guy, overachiever.
Oh, Scott Pax? No.
So Scott,
anyway.
I think it is Scott, actually.
Scott Skiles.
Scott Skiles, dude. Nice job by you.
Five
job.
baby mamas?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Hey, man, I at least rather baby mamas than ex-wives. Let's put that out there. Like, do the baby mama route. Don't do marriage. Don't.
Yeah, no, well, the marriage, but either way, you're kind of tied for 18 years.
Yeah,
So it's still Le'Veon Bell is going to be so broke. Oh my God, he's going to be so broke.
And not to say that I want to hammer this or Le'Veon Bell is a great resource or the answer, but like, I'm sorry, Le'Veon Bell here for a minimum contract. I know the Ravens did it, and when the Ravens do it, it makes a lot more sense. But like, bro, you don't have an answer. You don't have any back that could really protect and get you tough yardage. And I'm not saying Le'Veon Bell is the answer, but goodness gracious, everything you've done here has failed for a reason.
All the guys the Ravens signed are better. Freeman, Bell, and
it's just because they're on a better team.
No, I know. A better locker room structure.
Yeah, man.
Everything's established. I get it, dude. No, we're not going to compare John Harbaugh and his staff and that organization to this organization. This organization is striving to come close to that organization is what we're talking about. But,
you know how you get there? You hire somebody from there.
The former Minnesota Raiders guy. It was the other guy, the big guy, the big back that they signed. All 3 of their guys are better.
Murray. Yeah. Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray. That's it. Murray. All 3 of the guys they signed.
All off the street. All off the street. Listen, and as I respect what Myles Gaskin and Ahmed Savan are doing or trying to do or who they are, but they're scatbacks. Let's be real about it.
They're number 2s. Yes.
Like, anyway, roster.
I love Myles Gaskin if you got a stud back. I think Myles Gaskin would be one of the better number 2s in the NFL that way. You know what I mean? But when you elevate both, then you hurt yourself that way. I'm 1,000% with you. Okay, so you're in it. You talk to a lot of people around the league. My thoughts have been that it's really not the Dolphins negotiating for the guy right now.
No, I don't think they're negotiating.
I think it's been Houston the whole time. And here's my theory, Omar. Let me run this by you. My theory is Houston doesn't know what the F is going to happen.
With
Watson, they don't know if he's innocent or guilty, right?
So nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Right. This is my point. This is their last push.
You think they're desperate? You think this
is their last push to see if they can get a deal done? Because after this, you're at the mercy of the courts. And if he's guilty, you lost all leverage. If he's innocent, you have all the leverage in the world.
If it gets to the courts, if it gets to the courts
now,
if it gets to the courts, I happen to believe
there's 10 criminal investigations going on. So yes, it could get to the courts. That's what I'm saying. They don't know.
One day, listen, if they had enough evidence for a criminal conviction. And I get the due process. He's a celebrity. Like this would have moved a lot longer, faster. Like this.
No. Wait a minute. Here's where I disagree with you. Sometimes, when the authorities are super quiet, it is super dangerous for you, whoever you are that is up for charges. It's not a good thing. Like I'll give you an example. Right now, I don't know if you're following the Matt Gaetz situation, but the feds are super quiet right now. And
who's
normally
when it's like I know a Matt Gaetz, but I don't think we're talking about the same guy.
It's politics. It's the idiot that slept with the 17-year-old and all that. Don't worry about it. You probably don't follow it. But my point is that the authorities have been kind of quiet lately, and so have the lawyers. And I wonder if Houston actually got wind of something and they're nervous.
Trade deadline's looming, baby. And maybe that's why I think you have a valid point about them wanting to get this, because if he comes in with a conviction and a suspension, you're not done. You're still he's gonna play in the NFL again.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're done in the monster deal. Is my point.
You're still gonna get a good deal. You're not gonna get the monster deal.
Well, in today's environment, my brother, if he is found guilty, you cannot bring a sexual predator into your team.
Bro, they had a guy who murdered somebody playing in the NFL. Not
anymore. That doesn't happen anymore.
The NFL will take.
Gruden just got booted out for words, bro. It's a different environment now, Omar. I don't think you survive it anymore.
You can win games in the NFL. You can be a killer, murderer. I would hate to say rapist, but history has proven you can be a rapist.
But not lately, right? That hasn't happened in the last.
The NFL don't change like that. I think they made an example of Gruden, but that's on PC, political correctness. I'm sorry.
Well, you know
Deshaun Watson will be starting for an NFL team in 2022. Bank it.
Not if he's guilty.
He will be starting for a team in 2022, even if he's guilty. Maybe not 2022.
Not civil, but
definitely 2023. He is going to be starting for. Dude, they haven't even put him on the commissioner's suspended list. There's no reason. Nobody
because they haven't tried to play him, man. That's why they don't have to.
It doesn't matter. Nobody who's ever been on the commissioner's exempt list has had a conviction. You don't need a conviction. You don't need due process. The commissioner's exempt list. It just needs to be a black eye to the league.
Yeah,
he's clearly a black eye to the league.
Yes, Omar, but he's not playing, so it's not a black eye to the league.
But you know what? If he's not playing and you put him on the commissioner's, it would be wise to put him on the commissioner's exempt list. You know why? Because
it would. You're right.
Then he's starting to pay the process, and the Texans aren't paying him. They have played this situation wrong the whole time. And you know what? If I'm Miami and I do trade for him, I say he's starting on Sunday, forcing the league to do something. League doesn't do something, he plays. League does something, then he begins his suspension that he's going to have to pay.
Yeah, you can't. No team can trade for him now, and no team's trading for him. I don't believe this report at all. Because you're not.
Trust me, I don't think
no one is trading for a guy with all these legal issues. Nobody.
I think a trade gets. I don't think a trade gets done. But trust me, they're still in the DMs. They're still and this young man has control and leverage, which few do, and still is exerting it. Like, let's say Detroit. Why wouldn't Detroit trade for him right now? Think about it. Other than the fact that he wouldn't play for them.
Legal issues. You don't trade for him.
Please.
Nobody trades for him right now, Omar, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, please.
No, dude, you cannot trade for a guy that if he's found guilty, you traded for a criminal.
I put
That's
it 50-50.
a terrible look
Dolphins
for you.
don't.
It's a terrible look for the NFL.
Who cares?
I don't believe the NFL will allow
Dolphins
a trade.
don't care. Dolphins don't care.
You haven't heard from the NFL because Houston has done all their work for them. The second they try to trade him, you'll hear from the NFL. The second somebody thinks they can play him, you'll hear from the NFL.
Bullshit.
He's on ice, dude. He's not doing anything.
Bullshit. He's still cashing a check.
Well,
and the Dolphins are gonna listen. And the Dolphins are gonna, if the Dolphins trade for him by November 2nd, Dolphins are gonna have to write that check. And you know what? If I'm writing that check, I'm playing him.
No, I get that. But you'll see,
I force your hand.
Will not allow a trade, and they won't allow him to play. None of that will ever happen.
Oh, you think the NFL won't allow a trade? Please. NFL's going. Understand that Commissioner Goodell works for the 32 owners. So if two of them say, "What?"
I will bet anything you want. The NFL will not allow a trade.
NFL is not about to block
anything.
Trade, Watson. Promise. They're not. They're not going to block the trade.
Oh, they'll block the trade for sure. They'll block the trade because they're gonna protect themselves and the team that's trading.
If they protected themselves, you know what they would do? They would suspend him. They would put him on the commissioner's suspend list.
At the moment, you can't suspend them because there has been no criminal.
They've needed no criminal suspension for all
I
their
get that, but at the moment, there's been no criminal charges filed, and it's just civil lawsuits.
They needed no criminal charges filed for all their previous suspensions on the commissioner's exempt list.
I get that, but the difference
so what
here
makes
is
this the exception? What makes this the exception?
Listen to me. No, listen to me. Right now,
Elliott was suspended 6 games, and he was never arrested, convicted, charged, anything. Ezekiel Elliott missed 6 games. Never.
I know.
Never suspended, never convicted, never arrested. You know what he did? Stories embarrassed the NFL.
Right. Yeah.
So how is this different?
You talking about TD-Gate? Are you talking about TD-Gate? Is that what you're talking? Was that the stuff? Was it Tittygate? Right. That's what it was. Right.
I don't remember what he did.
Yeah, it was Tittygate that he lowered the girl's thing in public. Right. And the other thing he did was he pushed a security guard. He got in a physical altercation with a security guard. Now I'm remembering now that he pushed the guy. You remember that?
There's 6 games, not a single conviction. 6 games, not a single arrest.
Omar, there's video of him pulling the girl's thing down. I don't think that was for the NFL. I think it was the altercation he had with the security guard that he pushed the guy.
I don't think there
was physical evidence of something that happened. On this Deshaun Watson thing, nobody has any evidence. There's no evidence. We don't know anything. Everything is behind the scenes.
Bro,
there's nothing public.
They don't need a conviction. They don't need an arrest.
But I'm telling you, there's nothing right now. They can't do anything.
In every other situation, they didn't need a conviction. They didn't need an arrest. In any other situation, they didn't need a conviction. They didn't need arrest. Ezekiel Elliott was suspended for 6 games for it was a complaint. The only thing that was filed. But anyway, let's move on.
You sure about that?
I'm pretty positive because I had to look it up when looking up studying how they use the commissioner's exempt list. They've also used it on Kareem Hunt, no conviction, just a video, and they've used it on the running back who beat his. He would help the Dolphins. The guy who beat his.
Ezekiel Elliott suspended 6 games. Ruling comes the NFL's year-long suspension into domestic violence accusations made against him by Tiffany Thompson, who identified her as a former girlfriend. Elliott, 22, has denied the allegations. A second-year pro representative said in a statement they were extremely disappointed with the NFL's decision appealing the ruling. The 6-game suspension stands. Elliott would be eligible to make a season debut October 29 against Washington. Could miss yada, yada, yada. Elliott formally informed us of suspension. Da 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 da. Nothing else. Okay, that's it.
You know who can help this team? Former Oklahoma running back, old as dirt, Hall of Fame guy. Last played for Washington.
Gore?
Huh?
Gore?
No. Oh, Gore. Hey, Gore can help. Now that you think about it, now that you mention it, I can't even think about it. Frank Gore is forced into retirement this year. But let's move on. Let's discuss something.
By the way, NFL insider Ian Rappaport stated it reviewed photographs taken by Thompson of her physical injuries following multiple incidents. The league found the photographic and medical forensic evidence corroborates many critical elements of the allegations regarding the cause of her injuries. So there was evidence, is what I'm trying to tell you. And in the Watson case, there is no evidence public right now. We don't have any pictures. We don't have any texts. We don't have anything. As he said, he said, they said, is the only thing we have right now. And there are no criminal charges filed yet. And the civil lawsuits have not been won. So the NFL has nothing to stand on. So they don't suspend them.
So why would they not stop? Why would they stop him from playing?
Because they don't want an issue with the NFLPA, because then the NFLPA will go after him.
NFL has never run from the NFLPA.
So the NFL does nothing because Houston has done it all for them.
NFL has never run from the NFLPA. Not on.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is, right now, there's no reason to do anything.
It's speculation, conjecture. Sorry, the NFL, if you haven't stopped him from playing right now, yes, Houston stopped him. But if you haven't stopped him from playing right now, I would force your hand. Like it would benefit the Dolphins if he was on the commissioner's exempt list. Let's do it. Let's put him on the commissioner's exempt list for all of 2021.
Oh, it would end all the
next week.
Discussion. It would end all the trade discussion if he's on the commissioner's exempt list. There's no trade then. There's no trade. There would be no rumors. There'd be nothing. That's it. Or maybe the NFL's also allowing them not to do it so they can actually try to get a trade.
Yeah. So if you're trying to encourage somebody,
but they're not playing him, so they're not putting them in any kind of an embarrassing situation because they're not playing him. By the way, they put Adrian Peterson and Alfred Morris. There's people put out there.
Adrian Peterson could help the Dolphins. Is he still playing?
Yeah, he could also whip them up too in a shape.
I'm at this point like
you served it up, so I had to finish it. By the way,
so, hey, you're desperate. Why not? At this point,
why not? He'll bring his switch. He'll bring the switches and he'll whip some people.
This team needs to switch. This team needs to switch. A good flogging. Go get your stick from the tree. This team needs it. Look,
by the way, I saw that you tweeted out what's it called? Oh damn it. What's his name now? I'm forgetting his name.
You forget his name, Tua Tagovailoa?
No, man. No, the
Brian Flores?
No, the guy from ESPN. What's his name? Damn it. You like him a lot. Louis Riddick.
Oh, Louis Riddick. Yeah.
You tweeted out his comments on how Tua has not been handled properly here. Mm-hmm. And then, but then it seemed like you agreed, but then it seemed like you kind of backtracked on it.
No, I hear his points. No, I think the criticism is valid. I don't think, and I even
incredibly valid.
I even posted a thread. It's not like they haven't tried to do things. It just hasn't worked.
But they suck at what they tried.
Okay,
so you didn't really help out.
But
it's like I throw out the example. Your kid, he gets to the age of driving. And so, hey, my kid got to the age of driving. All right. I didn't buy her a fucking used Yugo. I got her an Acura. You know what I'm saying?
Big money, big O.
And while the Dolphins wanted to build a line, they didn't give him the Tennessee Titans line.
No.
They gave him a fucking Yugo.
I'm not going to allow you
to.
I'm not going to allow you to say that they didn't try because you.
No, they tried.
They tried. They failed. They tried. They failed. But exactly. They didn't know they were buying a Yugo. I told you they were buying a Yugo. I told you that's a lemon.
So
and
then there you go. So they failed.
you were right there with them saying, "Oh,
I
young
know the
kids,
young
they're
guys.
gonna develop and they're gonna get great and
Well, I
no,
didn't say I never said they're going to get great.
no, okay, you said they're gonna develop and
In
we're giving up on them."
Omar, for months I've been bracing everybody, telling them, "Hey, they started young guys. Remember, 2 or 3 of these guys are going to fail." I've been saying that for months, dude.
Yeah, but you know
you
what?
don't hit on all 5 draft picks.
I told you
That
from the
doesn't happen.
I told you from the get-go, not good enough.
Yes, you're right. So then you
And
give
gonna
them a
ruin
fucking
your
Hugo.
season. Gonna ruin
You give
your
him a fucking
season.
Hugo. You had
Yeah,
a chance to give the kid a Toyota that is reliable, a Nissan that's reliable,
I don't even look at
a
it from
Volvo
that
that's reliable. You give him a fucking Hugo.
I don't even look at
Okay?
it from that standpoint. While I do think the offensive line is the number one problem, you could have given him a physical rushing attack by getting Najee Harris. You chose not to do that.
Give
You
him
could
another
have
fucking Hugo.
you could have
Hugo.
you could have had some more stability on your offensive line by not trading away Eric Flowers. You chose to trade him away for moving up 14. Okay. You could have continued continuity with Chan Gailey, even though him and Tua were kind of on a chilly relationship. But sometimes the kid doesn't know what's best for him, and you just keep on pushing along. You go and you hire his former 7-on-7 elite high school quarterback coach to be his quarterback coach.
Rich Cola.
And you
Put a
promote
box Coke, give him Rich Cola. The hell's wrong with you?
You promote two guys to the coordinator position for the sake of continuity. You go draft Jalen Waddle. You go sign Will Fuller, who, by the way, is I'm sorry. Why the hell aren't you here watching practice? I've seen Will Fuller, and I'm being genuinely honest with you. And this is something that I will address next week.
You could have given the kid MacArthur's milk, and you're feeding him freaking Hyde Park. The hell is wrong with you?
I don't drink milk, so I have no idea what the reference is. But listen, everything's failed. Everything you touch has failed.
That's right.
And this kid hasn't failed. He's 7-5.
Balled out last week, bro.
He played pretty well last week.
He balled out behind a Hugo offensive line.
But here's the thing: we're sitting here and we are discrediting what he's done and what he's accomplished and what he's working against. And keep in mind, I do understand why they're doing it, because the hot chick out there keeps winking at you and wants to take you to bed. And yes, you've got Tua, and he's, huh?
Jilly? She's interested?
Who's Jilly?
Really? What's wrong with you, man? You just told me to take her off the screen.
Okay. I don't know her name, bro. But yeah. She wants to get down, Big O. And you're dating somebody and you like him and it's pretty serious. You're not ready for marriage yet, but like, did you see her? Like, bro, like, am I saying no to that?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
Of course not.
Now, would he be my number one preference? No. Do I think it's wise to make the trade right now? No. But I'm sorry. You could put her back up on the screen? Like, good Lord. Like, this is what's staring at Chris. Oh my God. This is what's staring at Chris Greer and saying, I want to get down. And like, I'm sorry. Like, we're not dating exclusively right now. Like, it just, and you can have your feelings hurt, but I'm looking out for my best interests as an organization. And Deshaun Watson might be in the organization's best interest when you've been 20 years for mediocrity because you can't get an elite quarterback. Well, this situation presents itself for bad reasons, but he is an elite quarterback. Like,
no, I get it.
I get
it.
And honestly, Big O, and I say this to anybody who talks to me, I don't care what happens. If it's up to me, I'm waiting on Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going all in on Aaron Rodgers, and I'm telling Aaron Rodgers, listen, bro, You could be my GM. You could be my coach. You can pick my GM. You can pick my coach. This is your organization now. You build it how you want. You spend the salary cap how you want. Just sign on the dotted line. And I have no fucking shame about it. And if he says no, okay. But I took my shot. Why you gotta do that to me?
Why, bro? I'm just telling you, Jilly wants to sleep with you. She's teasing you.
That's exactly what Deshaun Watson's doing to the Dolphins. And they can't. And what I found disappointing was Flores' talk about how, oh, this isn't a distraction for my team.
Please don't use the word disappointing while we have Jilly on the screen. Please don't use the word disappointing while we have Jilly on the screen, because
it is a little disappointing she doesn't have natural hair. Because I feel it's like.
Are you really worried about that right now? Are you serious? Are you really worried about natural hair right now?
I have
seriously.
Big O.
What is wrong with this? Please let him have it on the chat board. This man's worried about her hair.
I mean, it's nice. I'm not throwing it out. Like it's. I mean, it's Deshaun Watson is a tremendous.
You better be you're a sick human being if you throw anything like that out.
I mean,
you're actually sick if you're calling other women on IG when you got that at home. That's all I'm saying.
Man, I forget who it is that said the guy. Guys cheat on models. Guys cheated on Halle Berry.
No, I know the old saying, show me a fine chick and I'll show you a guy that's tired.
Yes.
Yes. I get all of that. I just,
it's about the relationship, your trust.
Have a hard time, have a hard time looking at her and saying, yeah, maybe I might make an exception for that saying. You know what
listen, if the woman is your best friend, then it makes it easy to say no to her. But Tua and Flo aren't best friends. They're dating. They're casually dating. And while Tua thinks that this is head to marriage, maybe it's not. And honestly, if I'm Tua, I don't care what happens either. Oh. Why you do it to me?
I gotta tell you, for those of you listening to the segment on the podcast, you have cheated yourself out of this segment by not going back to the video portion of this interview, because if you better go to Big O Radio Show on YouTube, because I'm telling you, it's worth it, man.
Bro. Hey, man.
Manny Navarro is waiting to join us, and he's already, he's excited about the interview already as it is.
It's a distraction, and that's what I found disappointing with Flores. Like, this is going to be a distraction for your team, not just this Sunday, but next Sunday too against Buffalo, and until November 3rd gets here, and whether or not he's here or he's not, and I don't think they're going to make the trade. I think it's going to linger till the offseason too. And they're going to try to see if they can wait to let the legal process play itself out. But, man, the Dolphins have 1 foot in, 1 foot out on Tua. And unfortunately, that probably hurts the kid's feelings. But you know what? An elite quarterback wants your team, whether it's Deshaun Watson. What if it's Aaron Rodgers next season? I'm sorry, you're in a great location. An elite quarterback wants your team. Suck it up and become an elite quarterback. So that's my response to Tua. Like, play great. Go and beat Buffalo, and we can end all this conversation.
All right. When what's the prediction before I let you go? What do you got?
I'm predicting
do they get their second win, or is it a loss?
I'm predicting a loss. I just don't feel like this team is bought in.
Are the corners playing?
Maybe. We'll know later today. They're practicing. I just don't think they look right. And okay. I think you save them for Buffalo. But, you probably need this win as desperately as you've ever needed a win. So,
amen to that. Amen to that. And hopefully it comes with a good tour
Because
performance.
can you imagine losing to Atlanta and then taking it to Buffalo and then losing to Buffalo?
Oh, dude, they lost to Stanky Fingers last week. So, I mean, it doesn't get any worse than losing to Stanky Fingers. I mean, seriously. It just doesn't get any worse than Stanky Fingers. And if you lose to him, I mean, what am I going to tell you, bro? It just sucks. All right, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. And if you're listening to the podcast, shame on you. Go grab the video. It's well worth it. Omar, I'll see you later.
I don't even
Enjoy.
know what her name is, but her image
Jilly Anais. Anais.
Whew.
Yeah. She's all woman.
She's serving as a distraction for me, just as Deshaun Watson is serving as a distraction for the Dolphins.
I say we trade for her. Fuck Watson. Forget the rest. Bring her here. I don't care about Watson now at this point. Bring Jilly. Have her the face of the stadium. That would be Tom Garfinkel's greatest acquisition right there. All right, we'll have a Jilly day at the stadium. That's all.
I always found Ryan Tannehill's wife cute, but cute
too
isn't
skinny for me.
Cute isn't what I want. Yeah, I know. We always have these discussions. Yeah,
Hispanics, and the brothers. Just we look at them and we say, "Yeah, you're cute, you're nice,
it's
but
cute.
there ain't enough meat on the bones." I get you. I'm with you.
Yes, but
I need some curves.
Miss Jilly, she certainly fits the credentials. Qualified.
Oh, yes, she qualifies. Yes, that one qualifies. I'm with you there. That one, I don't look at her and say, feed her a burger. Lauren is nice, but I say feed her a burger. That's the kind of the difference there. All right, he's fading. All right. I'll see you on Sunday. We'll talk to you post game. Be good. There you go. The great Omar Kelly. All right, we go from out of our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, and then we will go into our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report right now.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on a Big O radio show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right, quickly, Manny, have you seen her on the campus of the University of Miami?
She'd be one of those few 5-star recruits they've got over there. She'd definitely be a 5-star. There's no doubt about that.
She could be a running back. Look at those thighs. Look at those thighs.
They need a running back. They're down a couple now, man.
Bro, they need a backup running back right there, boys. Speaking of backup, boy, backup. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
No doubt. All right, let's get to our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes reports with the one and only Manny Navarro. Follow him on Twitter. For those of you listening on the podcast, at Manny_Navarro. All right, Manny, it's NC State this week, and listen, man, I don't mind any swag whatsoever. Tyler Hero had a lot of swag last year and didn't live up to the swag. You know what I'm saying? He lived up to it in the bubble,
right,
but he didn't live up to the swag. So Tyler Van Dyke, another Tyler, was maybe a little too confident considering you're a really bad football team. And listen, let me tell you something. I like what I saw from the kid last week. That sidearm throw and everything that he did, I was like, whoa, moxie, a little juicier. How about that? The kid's finding ways to make plays. That's what I like playmakers. I like guys that adjust to what's going on, and he had to adjust by making that throw. You know what I mean? So I'm impressed with Van Dyke. I like him, but I just want you to pile on the success before you start acting like you've had that success.
Yeah, that's one thing with this group, with this freshman group. The guys in the last 2 cycles that Manny Diaz has brought in, they have a lot of confidence. There's a lot of swag, inner swag in these guys, and I think Tyler's the kind of guy who is just trying to exude that confidence. To the rest of his team, he said, "Hey, we really were just a couple plays away from being 4-2 and not 0-2 in the conference," and that's the reality. I mean, they were.
It is.
I mean, if that kick goes through the uprights and he throws a touchdown instead of a pick, Miami's it's a different narrative right now. Granted, everybody's still killing Manny Diaz for how bad the defense looks, and nobody's certainly overlooking that. I just think in his eyes and in a lot of the young players' eyes that this isn't that far away from turning around in their eyes. Now, look. Should you go out and say some of the things that he said publicly?
They're better than you. You gave him bulletin board material.
Right.
Come on, dude.
Right. And now you got to back it up. And if he doesn't back it up, this is going to be a lot of egg on his face. If he plays terribly and Miami gets killed tomorrow night, which very well could happen. I mean, this NC State team has been solid. They've done everything that this Miami team was supposed to do, right? I mean, they've basically their upperclassmen have lived up to the billing. Miami's haven't. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow night. But I'm not expecting a W. I'm not expecting a W the next 2 weeks. I think they fought a 2-6, and then it's about can they become bowl eligible over the last 4. So, but hey, I like the fact the kid's confident. I do. I think that's a good sign.
I just want the confidence inside the locker room with his teammates and practice. Not out in public. Hey, what did we score? 44 on them last year. Like, it's like, first of all, kid, you weren't even on the field. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like those are 2 different teams last year, and you're making it sound like you're 5-1 right now, not 2-4. You know what I mean? You're making it sound like, relax, bro, but don't put any extra pressure on yourself as it is, right? In fact, you're playing with no pressure. You were playing with no expectations. Now you're putting your own expectations. Now you're adding pressure and you're feeding bulletin board material. Man, you don't need that shit right now.
No,
that's the part of that. I just wish you would have been a little smarter, man, because I like it from the kid. I like him.
Yeah. I think, it's funny how tone deaf I think people at Miami are right now. I mean, just in general. Bubba Bolden did an interview with us in the middle of the week, and I don't know if this is a topic you wanted to get into eventually too, but he told us he thinks he's playing well, that he thinks he's playing good this year.
I saw that.
And then the school athletic department Twitter, they're trying to tweet out positive things, and they're tweeting out how the 2001 team is supposed to be honored on Saturday, and how I mean, you just look underneath everything that they tweet. And it's fans just ripping, fire Manny Diaz, fire Blake James. Like it's almost like, hey, we're 2-4, but the starting quarterback would never make you feel like they're 2-4. The starting safety would never make you feel like they're playing terribly on defense. And then the own Twitter account is just on another planet. They're just so to me, it's just a disconnect of reality and reading the room and understanding, what situation you're in.
Yeah, and I thought when Tyler was like, well, coach tells us to go out there and play with confidence and go out, and it's like, yeah, dude, but maybe he's kind of telling you to, do that from within, not on the outside. You know what I mean? It just, I just kind of feel like you put yourself in a really difficult position. So why do you think they'll struggle this week against NC State? Obviously, NC State, what is it, 18? I think they're in the country or something. So
yeah, their defense. I mean, Miami has played 2 horrible defenses the last two games. I mean, Virginia was horrendous on defense, and they only gave up 28 points to Miami. And North Carolina,
they kind of shut down Miami in that first half, actually.
Right, and the same thing happened against North Carolina. Miami's offense didn't do anything in the first half against them either, and a lot of that had to do with Tyler Van Dyke. And just, the one thing we hear over and over, in all these interviews, and God, I have to listen to them all. But every one of these interviews is like, I don't know how many times you've noticed this as well, but how many times they say, yeah, they threw something at us we weren't expecting, nothing that we saw on film. You know, like
Right.
nothing. There's always this sort of like, well, we need a half to figure out what they're doing before we can adjust. And it's been that way since Manny Diaz took over. I hear that all the time, not only from players but from the coaches. The coaches use that as an excuse. Yeah, they came out in something that we just want, like as if everybody saved something just for Miami, right? Like they're the only.
You know, it's funny. The Canes suck and that style, and then the Dolphins suck the other way. They designed their first couple of plays.
Right.
And their first drive is magical, and then after that, they're shit out of luck, bro. They don't know what the hell they're doing after that. So it's like the reverse. So maybe the two coaching staffs can get together, and one can teach them how to start, the other one can teach them how to finish. I don't know. What the hell? Holy
It really is sad. I was looking this up as I was listening to you interview Omar. I was on here looking up
You
how
were
many
looking at Chile is what you were
well,
doing.
that too. I was looking that up. But besides that, because as I wear my Chargers t-shirt that I ordered with Justin Herbert name on the back, eight all pros drafted, I think, since Jimmy Johnson left, and 4 of them were Jimmy's. Or I mean, 4 of them. Eight since Don Chula left, and 4 of the all pros were Jimmy guys. So only 4 all pros since the end of the Jimmy Johnson era have been drafted by the Dolphins. Like that's ridiculous. That is so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how bad they are at evaluating talent for the last 25, 26 years.
And they were Jimmy's all pros. After that, there is none, right?
Well,
maybe
I'm talking
X.
about since the end of the Don Shula era, Jimmy took over. He drafted 4 all pros, obviously.
Right.
In that short, whatever it was, 4-year window that he was in charge. After he left, there's only been 4 all pros drafted by the Dolphins. Can you name them?
Holy shit. After Sam, Pat, and Jason and Zach, wait a minute, but they were drafted by Miami?
Drafted by the Dolphins. 4 all pros have been drafted since Jimmy
Well,
Johnson
X
left.
might be one, I guess.
Yeah, X is one.
X is one. Drafted by well, wait a minute. Laramie Tunsil, did he make an all pro?
No, did not make an all pro. He was a pro bowler.
Pro bowler.
I'm talking all pro because anybody can make the Pro Bowl these years with the way how many guys get invited.
Did Minka make an all pro?
Minka made an all pro. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 2.
There was only 1 during the Rick Spielman, Randy Mueller, Jeff Ireland, and Dennis Hickey.
Rashad Jones?
Jake Long, the only one.
Oh, that's right. Jake Long. That's right.
Right. And the last one was Jason Sanders. So those are the 4 all pros that have been drafted since Jimmy Johnson. That's it.
Wow.
I mean, that just tells you everything you need to know about the Dolphins, right? I mean, what else?
Right. Yeah. No.
I mean, you can't go 25 years with 4 all pros, man. I'm sorry.
No, that's why you don't win anything. Yeah. And you only won some games at the end of the century and at the beginning of it because your defense was good enough to keep you in a whole bunch of games. Because JJ and Zach and Sam and Pat kept you in a bunch of games that really, it wasn't because your offense was anything special overall. Yeah, no, you're right. It's just, it's been such a bad run, man. It has been so bad. And I thought we were going to get out of it here, man. What can I tell you? All right, so this week, defense is the issue. Offensively, well, listen, not just offensively, just overall. The one thing I will say is that the games are actually a little bit better to watch only because some of these young guys that are now playing. I mean, watching this kid run the ball last week, and not that I have anything. I love watching Cam Harris play. He's a tough runner, a blue-collar guy. But this kid that took over has got that's gifts. That's
Hope sells.
Hope
sells.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Knighton, Rooster as he's called, was right. Him and Don Chaney Jr., 2 of the better running backs that have come out of this area. Obviously there's a lot of NFL guys from the Dade Broward area now, right? With Sony Michel and Dalvin Cook and all the guys that are playing in the league. But these 2 guys are of that same pedigree. The problem is Chaney's just always been hurt, throughout his career, even in high school. And Rooster, he was splitting the load last year with Cam, and so he didn't really get too many opportunities to shine. He's more of that Alvin Kamara, catch the ball out of the backfield, explosive type guy. Chaney's more of your workhorse. And I think, the running back, I'm not worried about the running back position the next couple of years. I think offensively, there are enough guys between the quarterbacks and the receivers, the Romello Brinsons, the Elijah Royals. I think they've got a ton of really good players on offense. My issue is the defense. And can you find enough guys that can tackle? And it's funny, yesterday I drove over to American Heritage High School, which is, produced a bunch of, they got 9 guys in the NFL now.
Yeah.
Just American Heritage High School.
That's
and
great.
I think it's the third most. And I was sitting there talking to Pat Surtain for a while about tackling. I'm like, why is it so bad? And he just seems to think that in general, because it's not practiced anymore.
Right. No practice.
There's no practice. And so these guys, and there's just such a reluctance to just get dirty. It's like, well, I'm just going to shove this guy. He'll fall. There's no pride in really hitting a guy and tackling him. They want to hit him to get the big highlight hit. But in terms of just getting the job done, there's so many guys. And yet you look at the freshmen that were on the field last week, James Williams, when he wasn't getting penalized. He was getting shot out of a cannon and hitting guys and wrapping them up. Cam Kitchens, the other safety, was hitting guys, wrapping them up. Leonard Taylor was hitting guys, wrapping them up. So the younger guys are better tacklers than the older guys. And so that's why if you're going to take a positive out of anything, it's like, well, at least the future doesn't look so shitty, right? At least the guys that are going to be here the next couple of years know what they're doing. Can we get more of them on the field? And I think we are. I think that's what's going to happen over the second half of the season. You're going to see more and more. And if you read my story in The Athletic, I actually charted, I think there's 12 guys here that have played more than 70 snaps so far for Miami. And, they're graded among the higher guys on the team by Pro Football Focus. And a lot of it is they're just not missing tackles. They're not making as many mistakes as the older guys are. So,
well, let's hope so. Let's hope it improves, man, because the kids are still playing hard. I believe Tyler when he said, "Hey, man, we're all still in this together," and you see it out on the field, just like the Dolphins. As bad as it's been, I haven't really seen the team quit overall on the coach yet. Now, hey, it could happen down the line, and I also wonder, for these young guys, if the losing continues, do they decide to transfer and go somewhere else? Since they put a lot of good film out there now, people will pick them up right away, that kind of stuff. So, I do worry about that, but I will say this, that's what I'm looking at now. That's what I found myself looking at this past week, is I was looking at what's in the future now, because obviously the present is done. You're not really accomplishing anything this year anyway. So let's just move on and see what you've got for the future. What are you working on over in The Athletic so folks can check you out, my brother?
Well, I was going to do a story on American Heritage, just the way that program, St. Thomas Aquinas for so many years was the premier high school down here, and they still are. They still produce the most NFL players, the second most behind IMG Academy, but American Heritage is third nationally now in terms of NFL guys in the league. And it's kind of a great little story of just, this woman who's the athletic director there, Karen Stearns. She was a cheerleading coach for many, many years. They move her over. She replaced Jeff Dellenbach, who was former Dolphin.
I know.
Who was the AD there. And as soon as she came in, she promotes Mike Rumph, the head coach, and all of a sudden now they've got 9 guys in the NFL. They've got a bunch of other top kids around the country, college-wise, that are going to be draft picks in the years to come. And it's kind of like this overnight, sensation where now they're up there with St. Thomas Aquinas in terms of producing great players. So that's kind of one of the local stories. And then, of course, I'll be at the game tomorrow night, and I'll be writing off of that and whatever happens. I have a midseason report on the Hurricanes that's up on The Athletic right now, where I did a ton of sort of analysis and perspective and whatnot. And there's a podcast that I put out, I think Tuesday or Wednesday night. Wednesday it came out. The Wide Right podcast. So there's plenty of content on there to read, and more to come here as this season unfolds. The one thing I'll say with Manny Diaz and Blake James, a couple of things that I've heard. One, I've heard from a couple of people now that they think Blake will be out at the end of the year. At that point, what does that mean for Manny Diaz? I don't know. But I've heard that from a couple of different people who are around the program and in different ways, agents, etc., people that would speak to higher ups about what's going on out there. I know parents are nervous, because they like Manny Diaz, they like the coaching staff, and the fact that Blake James has said nothing to sort of calm their nerves publicly makes them feel like, okay, this is a tense situation. So we may see kids jump the gun and go somewhere else at some point here, as you said. I think there's just nervousness in general among the parents.
By the way, what is the name of the athletic director at American Heritage?
Karen Stearns.
Karen Stearns, right? Okay. Do me a favor, dude. I got another story for you.
Go ahead.
Fucking fire Blake James and hire her.
Well,
what the fuck, dude?
I know. And
we got a better AD at American Heritage than we do at the University of Miami.
Hey, she's done a great job, man.
I know American Heritage people are now going to get pissed off at me like, no, don't be taking away our woman. But no, damn right. Let's go. Hire her at the University of Miami. She obviously cares about sports. Maybe she can fight with the president and straighten his ass out.
They've done an amazing job, man. And that school, let me tell you, everybody talks about the facilities at St. Thomas Aquinas. They just built a $28 million facility. The owner of the school put all this money in to build them an indoor gym and brand new locker room, brand new weight room. And I mean, the kids, if you're a kid, a local kid, and you want to make it, you want to go to American Heritage, right? You want the financial aid, whatever they're going to offer to get you in there and to help get you to the next level. Because listen, every one of those kids, they can't graduate from American Heritage without being fully qualified for college. That's the requirement. They will not pass you as a high school graduate unless you're fully qualified for college. That's a minimum that they make.
Karen Stearns. Karen Stearns. Karen Stearns. Karen Stearns. Come on, man.
From a cheerleading coach, man. Cheerleading coach who worked in the compliance office to athletic director. Great story.
She's the Andy Ellisberg of American Heritage.
She is. Done a great job.
Basically. I mean, come on. Let's go. We have the answer to straightening out the University of Miami football program's problems. Karen Stearns, it's right there, bro, for the taking. Let's go. Hire this woman. She's good.
She is.
Manny, appreciate you, my brother. We'll catch up on Tuesday. Let's hope the boys win on Saturday, my friend. You be good.
All right, brother. Take care.
There you go. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work at The Athletic. Better yet, subscribe and support him and support our local journalists. That's our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right, we're back as always, ready to rock here, and final couple of minutes here on the show. Oh, what's that on the screen? Oh, Jilly wants to hang out with us again. All right, there you go. So we thank Manny Navarro as always. Dolphins get ready for the Falcons. Remember, we will be on Sunday. Sean and I will be broadcasting live starting off at 11 a.m. You can come on out and join us. We got brunch being served. So if you want to have a little breakfast leading up to the game, you can do that. You want to have a little lunch leading up to the game, you can do that too. So come on out and join us at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. And we're only at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes for 2 more games. Yeah. First 8 games are there in Miami Lakes. Last 9 will be in Bird Road and 114th. So we will be moving to Bird Road in a couple weeks. So last couple times we will be at Miami Lakes. So please join us this Sunday for the broadcast. You can catch us right here on YouTube, of course, if you can't be there. But I suggest that you all come on out Rico's telling me Blackberry Smoke December 4th in Lake Wales. I love Blackberry Smoke. You know I like my Southern Rock. By the way, can I just, first of all, I just want to say that one of the things that I've come to kind of understand and appreciate a little bit more is Tua and the professionalism that he has shown all throughout this entire process. And I think it's something that needs to be admired and needs to be pointed at because, you know, some guys might get pissed that all these kind of rumors are floating around and the kid just grinds and he puts his head down. And I feel bad for him because he can't feel like he is supported. And I'm sure that he's had conversations with his family members and his agent. And I'm sure he hears from, you know, it's only natural to hear from a family member to say, yo, Tua, what's going on, man? Like, you don't have reliable receivers. You don't have a reliable offensive line. You don't even know who the hell's your offensive coach. You know, all of these kind of things that are going on. And then you hear constantly that the team is interested in trying to trade for Watson, whether they are or not, whether they initially inquired back in the offseason and they still haven't, but they're still included in it and have failed to pull themselves out of those rumors. Because at one point throughout the year, Cam Flo could have stood up at the podium and said, hey, enough's enough already. I don't care what the rumors are and what the reports are. We're not talking to Houston. We're not. While Deshaun Watson is a fantastic player, we have not inquired about Deshaun Watson. We're not trying to trade for him. Last time I checked, we have a quarterback here, and his name is Tua Tagovailoa, and he's our guy. And everybody in that locker room is behind him, and I want the entire Dolphin Nation behind him. That's what I want to hear. Because you've created a polluted environment because you have been irresponsible. And it's only human nature. I'm not telling you that he should go out and fail because that's not who he is, and he's not made that way. I'm not telling you you're going to lose him because weaker-minded people may do that. They may do divisive things to try and screw the team over by screwing themselves over too. But that's not Tua. They may go out and in public say, hey, what the F is going on? But that's not Tua. And I don't think he is going to go out there and not do his best because that's not Tua. But it's only human nature that every time he goes out there, he knows he doesn't have 100% support from the top to the bottom. And that, my friends, is a failure of the organization. No employee should go to work not knowing they're not supported by their employer. Okay? Nobody. Your kids should not go to school, to a game, to a rehearsal, to a recital, to whatever without your confidence behind them. Your husband, your wife should not go to work or go to an interview or anywhere else without you telling them that you love them and you believe in them and they deserve this. And good luck and go out and get it. Everybody deserves support in every structure of family, of professional work, of everything. We all need it. We all deserve it. And we all should have it as a foundation. And Tua does not have that. And to me, I find that to be absolute and total bullshit. To be honest with you. Because that's what we do on this show. And that's where I would say that this team has failed its quarterback. You are not creating the environment that festers positivity, that festers support from top to bottom, because now by you creating that divisive environment, you have divided your fan base, you've divided the media, because people know you're not completely committed. So then that becomes part of their conversation, and then they choose sides. That's why you don't want to have two quarterbacks in the locker room, because they'll choose sides. I'm just telling you, man. You're treading in dangerous territory as an organization. And it's just not a positive way of doing things. And you're not creating the environment that every player should have. I'm just telling you. There are ways of approaching this, and Flo and company have failed in their approach on how to support their people. So I wanted to get that off my chest, because I thought that was important, because it's got to be tough for him. It's got to be tough for anybody to go to work or go home and you're not supported in your family. You're not supported in your workplace. I'm not saying Tua is not supported in his family. I'm saying in all walks of life, you, me, whatever, right? You don't want to go home and people think you're a freaking disaster and they can't count on you. And, oh, hey, I'm going to try this. Oh, sure, whatever. You're a failure. You're not going to get it, right? That really festers, great foundation for human beings to succeed, So I'm just saying that psychologically, there's a lot more to this, and they have mishandled it all. To his credit, he's not going to give in to that kind of stuff, and he'll thrive either way, I believe. As I've told you, the only thing I think that can ever hold Tua back is his body, injuries. Outside of that, this kid can be a freaking baller in this league, but you've got to put the right environment around him, man. And you haven't put the right environment physically, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, because my God, there's nothing in that offense that helps create an advantage for the man. I mean, Jesus. All right. What else did I wanted to, I don't know if there's anything else that I wanted to get off my chest. By the way, did you guys see Miami Police Captain Javier Ortiz was released of duty? Did you guys see that story? I just wanted to share something with you on that, because, this guy was released, right, of his job. It says, one of the city's Miami's most infamous police officers has been relieved of duty with pay. Captain Javier Ortiz, I want you to listen to this, was once president of Miami's Fraternal Order of Police and is under investigation by Internal Affairs. The police department did not say why. Ortiz has made headlines for controversial arrests, use of force complaints, and other misconduct. In January of last year, he claimed to be a black man while at a public meeting at City Hall. And we employ this. Back in 2016, this is the real problem here. Ortiz made national headlines for calling for a boycott of Beyonce over her Super Bowl 50 halftime performance that year. See, that alone right there. I mean, anybody that wants to ban Beyonce, that just doesn't make any sense. See, you deserve to lose your job if you're trying to ban Beyonce. That to me, that's a violation of every kind of possibility out there, of every law that there is on the planet. That's all I'm saying. Sean, you would agree with me, right? That banning Beyonce should be kind of a, right? Exactly. There's, no red-blooded human being is trying to ban Beyonce. I mean, next thing you're going to tell me you're going to ban Jilly. I mean, it's unacceptable. Curves like that can never be banned. They must be celebrated. They must be given a lot of confidence and nurtured and told they're fantastic. Back to, we bring it back full circle. We must encourage Beyonce to keep performing. What's wrong with that guy? I'm telling you. You can't be on a police force wanting to ban Beyonce. It's just wrong. Gruden is going to break his silence and is saying the truth will come out. Stay tuned. Yeah. What Gruden needs to do is shut the hell up and leave. Okay. I get it, dude. He got screwed. He got railroaded, and they're hiding all the other emails and everything else that went on with Washington and Dan Snyder and all that. But it doesn't excuse who you are and your language and what you used and how you feel, dude. That stood out. So if I'm John Gruden, you know what? Shut the hell up. But apparently he's not very good at keeping quiet because this is what got him, in trouble in the first place. It's not that you have opinions. We can all have opinions, but try to have opinions that aren't necessarily insulting other human beings. Try not to be racist. Try not to be sexist. Try not to be, just an absolute disgusting human being, which that's what Gruden was. That kind of would help you, John. The truth is already out, my brother, and it exposed you. Yes, we know there's got to be other dirty emails there. They had 600,000 of them. You're not the only racist. You're not the only homophobe. You're not the only, what else? Bigot, whatever else you were there, sexist, chauvinist, whatever else, what other violations that you committed there. I'm sure you're not the only one. But you deserve to pay the price for the way you feel and the way you acted. Because if that's who you are, there's something to be said about at least the open out racists. At least when you see those people out in public and they're openly racist, at least they're standing by their beliefs. But, these other racists that are cowards and they act one way, but then they hide how they really feel, but how they really feel dictates how they run their lives, but they hide behind all of that. I may not agree, but at least the open racist, at least where they are, who they are, and where they stand. People like John Gruden are the scary ones. Big O still hammering the knuckle draggers and mouth breathers. That's it. That's what we are. Sounds like he's going to take other people down with the ship. Typical Gruden. I doubt he's going to do that. I think he thinks other people will release the truth. Or, in other words, other emails. Antoine says the Dolphins front office is basically saying we can't draft well, so we got to save our jobs. Hell, I can't blame them. It pays well. Yeah. I just don't think they're doing any of these trades. I don't think they're talking to Houston. I don't think they're trying to trade for Deshaun Watson. They might still be interested in him in the offseason once he's cleared, if he's cleared. But I don't think that's the problem with all of this. Robert Wilcox says, oh, you gave him a Yugo. Exactly. Tua had a heck of a game behind the Yugo nuts. That's awesome. I forgot. Let's give our picks. All right. Here we go. We did well again in the NBA last night. Where is it here? All right, here we go. Let me give you my picks. We told you to go Dallas. Was that? No, this is not the one. Where is it at? Am I right here? Where am I at? Did I get it right? Oh, yeah, that is it. All right. We told you go Miami +3, which obviously they easily won. Boom. So we're 1-0 there. We told you to go Dallas, and they got routed by Atlanta 113-187. We took Dallas +2.5. They lost by a hell of a lot more, 113-87. They lost by 26. So we lost that one, 1-1. We told you go over Clippers 226, and they scored 228 points. So we won that one. We went 2-1 in the NBA last night. So we are now we are now 7-4 in the NBA slate tonight. Here we go, 7-4 overall against the number in the NBA. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to go Bulls at Bulls. Bulls are favored by 7 versus New Orleans. The over and under is 221.5. I'm riding the Bulls. I'm giving the 7 points. New Orleans is a bad team. They have no Zion, and the Bulls are actually much improved. They got a shot getting in as a 6 to 8 seed in the playoffs. They got a shot there. I think they'll be like a 7 or 8, really, but they can get in 6. They got a shot, but I think they'll be a 7 or 8 seed when it's all said and done. I'm going to ride the Bulls tonight, -7 versus New Orleans, and the Bulls are home also. Lakers are favored by 1 against Phoenix. The over and under is 221. Lakers had a poor showing the other night. Westbrook did not play well. It's at LA. You know what? I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with LeBron. I think he's going to be a little focused on getting back on the winning track here. So I'm going to go Lakers. I'm going to lay the 1 against Phoenix at home. So go LA. Jazz favored by 5.5. The over and under is 226.5. They're at Sacramento. Sacramento's actually pretty decent, but I'm still going to ride the Jazz. I like the Jazz in this game. They can play defense. They're going to lay the 5.5. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with the Jazz, and Sacramento can score. So I'm going to go over 226.5. So we got 4 bets tonight. Bulls -7, Lakers -1, Jazz -5.5, over 226.5. That's how we're going. In football, we failed yesterday. We told you to take Denver +2. And those sons of bitches, man. I got to tell you, they lost by 3. They are good in Vegas, man. So we end up losing. And by losing, we dropped to 16-22-1. We're doing good in the NBA. We're not doing so good in the NFL. We are right now 6 games under 500. We need to pick it up in a big-time way. So Tennessee is taking on KC. KC favored by 4.5. The over and under is 57.5. I got to tell you right now, KC is not a team that you can trust. Tennessee, you can trust, are going to run with Derrick Henry. They're going to be physical. I was impressed with their defense last week with some of the stops they made. I'm going to ride Tennessee here. I'm going to grab the 4 points here. Even if Tennessee loses, I think it'll be a close one because Derrick Henry in that running game should be able to control the tempo of that game and the possessions of that game. So I'm going to go Tennessee +4 against Kansas City. The Las Vegas Raiders, we won with them last week. I thought they would give you an inspired play. They are taking on the Eagles at home. Eagles are on the road right now. Raiders are favored by 3. The over and under is 49. The Raiders are -150 in the money line. The Eagles are +130. All right. First of all, I'm going to go Raiders in this one. I'm going to go -3 Raiders in this game. I just don't buy the Eagles. I just don't buy the quarterback. I've never been a Jalen Hurts guy. Love the kid as a human being. I just don't believe in him as a quarterback. I don't think he's accurate enough. Josh Allen has done a great job of being the first ever in 30 years to prove me wrong, to go from inaccurate to accurate. I don't know if Jalen Hurts will be the second one to do it. I doubt it, but I'm going to ride my theory that normally when you're not accurate, you're never really going to be an accurate quarterback. So I'm going to ride the Raiders -3 against the Eagles. Another inspired effort. I think their defense and pass rush will cause enough problems and maybe even a turnover or two. I'm riding Raiders. And I got to tell you something. I know it's 150, but I'm riding the Raiders money line. I like this game. I think the Raiders win this game against the Eagles. Colts, again, at San Francisco. San Francisco is favored by 4. The over and under is 44. I know San Francisco is the better team, but I respect how the Colts play week in and week out. They're tough. They can score points. Their quarterback should be a little healthier by now with the ankles. I'm going to take the 4 points on the road. I think even if the Colts lose this game, I think they lose a close one. Plus, I've been actually surprised with the Colts defense. It's better than I expected. So I'm going to take the Colts +4. Here are the picks. Tennessee +4 against Kansas City. Las Vegas Raiders -3 against the Eagles. I'm going to take the Raiders on the money line -150. Colts +4 at San Francisco. Those are the selections in the NFL. And no, I am not touching the Dolphins game, just in case. Okay. If Cam Flo wants to stick up for Tua, how about trading for a right tackle and an upgrade at running back? That would be nice. Josh Allen still has flashes of his old self from time to time. He does, Ragin. You got a keen eye on that. He does have his moments of inaccuracy. He does. He still shows it. But, man, there are moments where he's just absolutely phenomenal. And I got to say I'm wrong. When you're wrong, man. And he's put it this way, he's gotten accurate enough that I have to say I'm wrong. You know, because he can move around, he makes plays, he's got toughness. He's a player, man. He's a player. Hate to say it, but he's a player. All right, we are now officially out of here. We appreciate all of you out there, as always, tuning in. Remember, you can support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show is the address. That's Cash Big O Show. We thank, of course, Sean Stanley, the legend. Sean will be back Sunday. You got to come see Sean Stanley, baby. Sports Grill Miami Lakes. Watch the man create the magic that he does it every day here on this show. The real talent on this show is Sean Stanley. So make sure you follow Sean down on Sunday to Miami Lakes and Sports Grill and watch him absolutely destroy the brunch at Sports Grill. Am I right there, Sean? Are you there? You go. See, thumbs up right away. That's it. You know what I need? You know what we need? We need like a video thing that just shows a thumbs up. So that way you play it every time I show you. So a video says thumbs up or thumbs down. Sean he's not a man of a lot of words. He just tells it like it is. That's it. He tells you what it is and it's over. He doesn't have to repeat himself. You know what I'm saying? So thank you all out there. Appreciate all of you for keeping it locked and for supporting us. However you support us, visiting our sponsors, smashing the like button, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, giving us a little love on a donation, Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo, or hanging out with us on Sunday at Sports Grill. We'll see you there in Miami Lakes. Go Fins. Go Heat. Go Panthers. Go Inter Miami. It's a South Florida sports weekend. Enjoy it.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.